Never in this moment been so alone. It is literally just me. There's nobody here but me. I am completely alone. This is the worst Christmas ever. I can't even believe this is happening. Angela will be with us momentarily, and by us, I mean me. It's good to see you guys when you guys get here, though. It really is. And, yes, Angela, my volume's on. So I'm not completely alone. There is somebody echoing in the halls. But at this moment, right now, I'm just speaking into the ether with no particular expectation of any kind of return. We got an interesting night ahead of us. We got lots to talk about. Good day for victims. I mean, not the best day for victims, but it's, when the things are moving in the direction of justice, you got to feel hope. You got to you got to give it that emotional push. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, here I am alone still. I guess I don't think people are getting notified that we're live. You did? Angela got a notification. All right. Well, I know I just have to act like people are here so that I can make this interesting for the people who are going to be listening to it later. So I'm going to do that. Hello, everyone. This is Too Real Live with Dale and Angela. By the way, we are going to be going wider. We're going to be going into a podcast format. Not here. Nothing's going to change on YouTube, but we're going to sort of spread our wings a bit into the podcast world. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'm excited for 2026. Here's the most exciting thing about 2026 for me. So we have an astrologer I quite like, a guy by the name of Chris Brennan, and his YouTube channel is the Astrology Podcast. And he's interesting. They're just an interesting group of folks over there. And he just did my Scorpio rising horoscope. So if you're a Scorpio rising, or really any rising, go check out the Astrology Podcast. He's got great videos. He and his partner Lisa Scheim, they put out some solid stuff. Now, if you don't know a lot about astrology, some of it might come flying over your head, but if you just wait for the nuggets, they come. And those nuggets, of course, telling you a little bit about what you can expect in 2026, or just some of the things that you might encounter, we could say. And man, things look good for me. Like, they just do. This is probably one of the best years. And on paper, this is one of the best years in probably more than a decade. And I knew this because it's from Chris Brennan that I learned about zodiacal releasing. I actually took his course on zodiacal releasing. And zodiacal releasing is this ancient astrological timing technique that was uncovered during Project Hindsight way back in the 90s, when they started translating Valens, who's an ancient astrologer. They started translating all this stuff that had gone untranslated for like ever. And so it's this super cool technique that really you can like break down astrologically and predictively, right down virtually to the minute, and really as far out as decades. So it's just absolutely fascinating. And when you look at one's zodiacal releasing, you can see how the life sort of trends. And I'm entering what is really my final, like, really massive period of my life in 2026. How cool is that? And on top of that, there's all these really favorable transits happening for me. Like, I'm getting some super awesome action in my 10th house, which is my house of reputation. Super awesome, transits into my 9th house, which is my house of publishing and philosophy and teaching and learning. So there's just a whole whack of shit I'm excited for right now. I'm loving it. Lee is here. It appears that Angela might be here as well. Oh, our scientist is here. Everyone's got, it's like this, it's the Christmas sort of lag. I just barely got here on time myself.
I know, me too.
All right, Angela, let me get Angela in here. Right?
I said I know, me too, but I'm actually super late.
Angela,
Hi.
you were live.
Good to be here.
Good to see you. I was missing you. Talking directly to the camera. There was absolutely nobody here but me. You've heard that.
Yeah, but you're probably talking to Future Foz.
Yeah, Future Foz. Oh, I miss Foz.
Right.
I hope Foz as well. Yeah, I hope Future Foz is.
So,
I haven't even heard from past Foz in a while, and it's hard to keep track of everything, even though it's not really all that busy. But yeah, I'm a busy guy. Hey, I'm a busy guy. So good to see you guys. So excited about. Yeah. So lots of crazy shit happening. You see all the shit happening today? You are live. That was from Lala Kennedy. Hello, Lala Kennedy.
You were talking about astrological timing techniques.
I was just talking about zodiacal releasing.
Yeah.
Because my zodiacal releasing is really quite outstanding for 2026.
For you specifically,
For me specifically.
Yeah.
And it's an individual thing. It's
a really a mixed bag for 2026, according to the astrologers. Some of them are like, hey guys, hold on to your seats. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Well, I think I'm still hold on to your seats in my life too, and in my astrology as well. But it just so happens that, Jupiter's playing a major role. Mars, which is my, I'm a night chart, so it's my malefic insect. So it's kind of I see more benefit from Mars than I do, problems. And yeah, man.
I think generally, though, we have a lot of outer planets doing things that they haven't done in decades.
Yes, Demon Child.
Oh, sweet.
I haven't seen Demon Child in a while. So
the forecast is going to be pretty dicey.
Layla Kennedy, I'm sorry. I get, my eyes are 55 years old. These fucking things. Layla says that people are saying that Leo is trying to repress my book. He's not trying. He is doing it. Here's the thing about my book, man. My book is good. Like, I'm just going to be totally cool I'm just going to believe the reviews. And that's really where it's at. Like, certainly when I published the book, I was like, I'm publishing a good book. But when the reviews came, and I've always said this about like everything you put out in the world, right? I made a Christian movie and with this director, and this director was like upset because I wouldn't tell him that he'd made a great movie. And I had to
because it's simply not up to you.
I just had to let him know that it wasn't up to me
to
decide whether this movie was great. And it surely wasn't up to me to decide whether or not my book was good or great. But the reviews are telling me so, and I'm just going to believe them. I had New York Magazine lined up, Hollywood Reporter on the phone. I had an exclusive at New York Magazine / Vulture that they were giving me the pick of whatever I wanted to do. They were going to give me anything I wanted to do. They were like, do you want to do an excerpt? Do you want us to do an article on it? Like, they were giving me everything to do the exclusive. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I was cautious about it, as I always am, because Leo has shut down everything that has to do with my life, my career, my work, and now my book.
And so then what happened?
So, the guy was laying down the red carpet for me. I was going to have this great launch, man. The book was going to launch. Like, I was like thinking like I might make the USA Today bestseller list, because with that one, you got to sell a couple thousand books in a week and they put you on the list. Like, that was doable for me. I almost did that without New York Magazine in my first week. So, well, not my first week of publicizing, we'll say.
Okay.
Just before I'm about to launch the book, New York Magazine just pulls out, and like coldly. And
you're like, you got usurped.
And it was the same fucking writer that did the article for Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
Because I went back to him, and he fucked me over once, but he was like, I found an email 2 years later.
You say fucked you over,
yes.
And I know that that's how you initially thought it was, but he explained that it was that they got poached by Leo's publicist.
Okay, but he did it again.
I don't know how.
Here we go again, though. So like, you go ahead and you go ahead and defend him. I'm not going to. I'm going to say that Chris Lee
you're framing it
screwed
poorly.
me over as a writer. He screwed me over as a person that entrusted him with my story and my future and my life and the thing that meant most to me, and he knew that.
I know.
I gave him 11. I gave him like not 11 hours.
Okay, I don't want to belabor this.
Several. Well, I'm talking right now. I gave him several hours of my time.
Okay.
Right, and then he chose and then he got it. See, he wrote me, and then he wrote me this really great email that I didn't open for 2 years. And in that email, he was like, Dale, you know what, man, I'm sorry that the article turned out the way it did. It's not how I wanted the article to turn out, because he was writing a completely different article when we were working together on it, you know, in terms of me being the subject and him being the writer. And he also exposed to me like the corruption at that level, at the highest level at Vanity Fair, the chief editor, Graydon.
Yeah, this is why I have a different perspective than you do.
Yes, but this time
I feel like you guys are both.
This time it's him.
Okay, I feel like you guys are both victims in this in different ways, right? Maybe he could have taken care of you a little bit better, but you guys were both. You both had your work stymied by Leo's publicist.
Yeah,
he seemed to be as frustrated about it as you, and he actually shared with you what happened, which took a great amount of trust. So I just feel like you framing it as if he screwed you over is probably not totally accurate, and maybe you're just feeling sore about it, which is understandable.
I am. Yeah, I'm sore about it. I also think, but
you don't think that you can align with somebody who also got their shit fucked with by
not the way
Leo's
he handled
publicist?
it this time. No, the way he handled it this time, I feel completely fucked over by him. Whereas the last time, I felt fucked over by him because, you know, I wrote him and I wrote him about it. I said, hey, man, you screwed me over. This is not the article. Then, you know, but this time it was him. Like it was direct by him. Like there was a very different communication with Chris Lee when he was at Vanity Fair compared to Chris Lee at New York Magazine. Mm-hmm. Like it was like a very different, and he was, by the way, promoted. Like that article, that DiCaprio article was so good for him. Like it was great for him. It was a fucking 4,000 word article in Vanity Fair. I mean, it's a fucking massive deal.
I also think it's a net positive that it ran at all. And so I just see this differently than you do. I see, you know, all of these things that are
but you do, and that's cool. But and it's cool. I understand because I understand like people always it's a weird nibbling kind of society where it's like you deserve what you said you were going to get, but you didn't get it, and you should be okay with that. And this isn't a criticism on you. This is like everybody that seems to like it doesn't matter if corporations are taking 60% of creators' money. You know, creators are like, at least we're getting something.
I get what you're saying, but you're misunderstanding me. But I see this, the freeing Don's Plum is a long game, right?
Yeah.
And these are all like little battles in a greater war, okay? Yeah. And sometimes you take your licks, and sometimes you make a little bit of progress, right? Most of the time it's the same, like the same thing happens, right? Which, I mean, they both happen simultaneously. Like in that case, you took some licks, but more people were exposed to your story. So that is progress along this game board of you doing, you know, publicity warfare in order to free Don's Plum.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I just consider it as like, that was progress. That was not a setback. That was actually a really great example that now you can reference all the time to very clearly expose how they're trying to thwart your efforts to even speak about your story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like ultimately the net result is a positive one for your cause, right? Because even if you take some damage, you can be like, hey, everybody, look at the damage that they did to me, right?
Yeah.
And that is why your position is so much stronger than theirs. Because there's no effort that Leo and Toby can put towards
I'm not feeling
silencing you now that doesn't actually aid in your efforts, right? Like, if they try, it makes your point. If you're saying these guys are continuously antagonizing me and trying to prevent me from telling my story and putting my work out, and then they do that, then here they've supported you in your efforts, right? Because what you're trying to do is expose them. And so that's why I think the best, smartest thing for them to do is completely leave you alone and pretend like you don't exist at all. Because that would be the only way to prevent them from contributing to your efforts.
That's not what they're doing. They're shutting down the press. They're shutting down all press. Like literally,
okay, I know, but then you get to talk about it. Don't you see what I'm saying?
I wrote probably one of the most revealing tell-alls in who knows how long. Like this thing is crazy, revealing.
Yeah.
It's also raw and true and gritty. It's independent as hell. Like it has so much going for it. It's such a great little piece of pop culture right now. And it's completely shut down, and that's all done by his publicist. That's all done by Leo. The only hope I have is that somebody, I sit here every day. Like it doesn't matter if I advertise. It won't matter because these guys, everything that is being repressed and suppressed by this incredibly large machine. Yes, if I had a bunch of money and I could afford things like real advertising and a real marketing firm and all that other stuff, I could probably overcome it. I could fight a fair fight. But there is no fair fight between me and Leonardo DiCaprio. It is truly a David and versus Goliath situation, Dale versus Goliath situation. So that's where I sit. That's where I'm at. I'm Dale, he's Goliath, and I've got to live that way. And this is my fucking, this is my stone, this is my sling, this is my everything. This is it. And I believe in it more than I believed in anything else creatively in my life, because it's sopping wet with the truth. And it's also a really fun, entertaining ride. Like, you can read this book, get a bit of independent film history, some big movie star history, and you can just have a really good fucking time doing it. Like, it's not a book where I'm like, hey, everyone, look at me. I'm not fucking Corey Feldman. You know what I mean? Crying over everything here.
I still can't believe you said, I can't get over how you said sopping wet with the truth.
I don't know why I said that. Is that weird?
No,
that was weird.
We've been watching that hockey porno show. So of course my mind is in the gutter. And it's true, it is sopping wet with the truth. There is a lot of nudity in your book.
So
a lot of naked misbehavior.
So did you see what Layla said? She said that it's the top comments of the Jennifer edits, which I don't know what that is. For Leo, what's the Jennifer edits? I don't know.
Oh yeah, well that's great. Maybe that's something that that his publicists aren't controlling.
Well, the book is only $4.99 now on Kindle because I dropped it by half price because
scientist said that was very weird, Dale.
It was weird.
I like it. No, you should keep using it. It's really, really
Sopping
good.
wet
It's
with
definitely ear catching, whatever the.
I have no idea why, because I was trying to make it heavy.
Yes.
So I made it wet.
Yeah, sopping wet with the truth is exactly the best way to describe your book.
But our scientist says it's weird. I don't want to weird out our scientist.
No. It can be weird and effective at the same time. Don't worry about it.
It can?
Yeah.
I'm very paranoid. What is the Jennifer edits?
Well, it's just edits that favor her part, you know? Maybe on TikTok somebody was making fan edits of her. And then the comments.
Who's her?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, Jenny. A Jenny Jen. Yeah. At least you didn't say moist. Well, it would be weird. That would be weird. That would be very weird.
And by suggesting it, you made him say it.
Now I said it. This
Demon
book
Child.
is moist with the truth.
See, that's not as clear, though.
No.
Sopping wet with the truth. Perfect. You fucking weirdo.
I'm a fucking weirdo sometimes.
Demon Child said, was the independent route for your book a choice from the get-go, or did it become more obvious as it developed?
No, it was a choice from the get-go. I had held out for basically two hopes. There was two agents that I was interested in. The one represented what's her face with what's it's called.
Jeanette McCurdy.
Yes.
With I'm glad my mom died.
You know, how long have you been together, huh?
Okay.
Like, is that not a fucking how long you been together situation?
Well, the reason why it was her publicity for that book.
Yeah.
Was the best I've ever seen.
It was the best I've ever seen.
I've never seen a book take off like that. And then when I read it, I was like, oh, this isn't actually as good as they as the publicist.
It's a good book. I was definitely delusional in thinking that I felt like the book was good enough that if I could just get in front of the agent's fucking eyes and he could just read it deep enough.
Book? Yeah, your book for sure. That would be like,
I thought,
if an agent liked that book enough to work that hard for it, they would love your book. It would be like a gift from the heavens for somebody who liked that book.
Right.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
It's like everything that book has, but so much more.
So I fucking tried the guy and there was no reply. And then there was one other agent.
He's probably very busy. He's so good at his job.
He's a busy guy. Mm-hmm. I knew it was a long shot. I mean, but then there was another guy and I was like, okay, this guy is another guy, another agent. And I was like, I'll try this guy. I'm going to try this guy. But I was really apprehensive because I thought, wow, fuck, who's going to take this? And besides that, really what made me most apprehensive about releasing it through a publisher, even if a publisher came forward, would be the 2-year waiting. So, I hand in my manuscript, it's like 2 years before it comes out. Whereas I get to flip the switch whenever the fuck I'm ready.
That's true. And there's okay, so I don't know if you guys know about the story of Harvey Weinstein, but and how he managed to suppress his victims and from telling their stories. But Ronan Farrow wrote an incredible book all about the exposing and investigating all of his backdoor dealings about how to suppress people.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know how to describe it. He does it so much better. Anyway, the book is called Catch and Kill. And it really clarifies this thing that they do in Hollywood and in publicity where they will deliberately try and pay somebody.
and kill.
They'll try and pay somebody for their exclusive story, right? Or publishing rights to their story or something. They'll pay them for it, and then they'll never let it see the light of day. They'll deliberately pay them off, but the person whose story it is unaware that this is the arrangement.
Right.
So they'll just like drag their feet. They'll just be like, oh, well, we have another publishing window next year or something. And then they just completely just squash it. But they own it the whole time.
Yeah, they hold it back.
So the person whose story it is can't even tell.
Yeah, and even if you put these clauses in that say you got to release it at a certain time, blah, 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 they can all just keep playing the game. So it was definitely a very like, minefield infested, mine-infested field.
Well, I mean, it seems like that would be an easy thing for them to want to do, right?
Yeah.
Is to catch and kill your story. That'd be the easiest way for them to control it, right? Just like
so I sent it to that second agent, and he wrote back and he said, "You have nice little stories," is basically what he said. I sent him I think the first 20 pages or something, or maybe it was the first 50 pages of the book. So there's not really anything in there.
Nothing really juicy happens.
No, there's no licking of the bones. There's nothing going. I don't know what that means.
The first 20 pages are interesting and exciting.
Yeah, I hope there's enough to
sopping wet
with truth. With
scandal.
With scandal. So anyway, he wrote back and just said, "You have nice little stories. Have a nice day."
Okay. And
I was like, well,
so you don't want to hear a Hollywood tell-all about the biggest movie star in the world. I got it. Okay. That makes total sense.
My blurb. I wrote this blurb in the back. But I think it's compelling as fuck. Well, it is what it is. The truth is that the book hasn't even remotely begun to find its audience yet. But when it's going to, because it's a lovely book. And the best part about it is like in all of its salacious bits, and there's some stuff in there that is definitely like, what the fuck? We have a person who comes anonymously to our live, and when I was doing super chats before I found out that the oligarchs were taking all the money, he dropped 100 pounds, and he was just, because he loved the book, and the quote was one of the more controversial, I guess you could say, moments in the book itself. But those controversial moments themselves are not what the book is about, and you don't leave the book with those. Even if you'll throw them around.
Yeah, but that's why it has everything. I mean, a publisher would love to have a book out that they can market in all these different ways.
It'll make you laugh. It'll put a lump in your throat. Probably, maybe. It'll make swallowing difficult on occasion. You'll enjoy it if you read it.
And you'll squirm for sure.
Yeah.
One thing that's for sure is it'll change your opinion about these celebrities for sure. You'll never look at them the same way again. The thing about your book, about it being self-published, that I'm very proud of you for doing, is that you refused to even the idea that you might have to compromise your story and the truthiness of it in order to pacify some sort of executive who says that they can't publish that sort of thing.
It was the biggest thing, because I knew that they would want to, for example, one of my favorite things I wrote. It is so disgusting though. It's disgusting. And it was only between me and Tobey Maguire and one other dude. And it's, it involves a penis, and it's not it's crazy. It's a crazy moment, but it's basically a he said, she said situation. And so when I was writing the book, I did some work on the legalities behind memoirs and what are the pitfalls for memoirists who are telling all. And so that scene is one of the pitfalls, because it's only me and Toby and this other guy. And
but the other guy really makes a huge difference.
But the other guy's probably not going to tell the truth.
No, I understand, but it really does. It makes it impossible to believe that you would lie about something when there's a corroborating witness there who is not the person you're accusing.
Oh, I mean, I'm telling the truth. That's why I just didn't give a fuck. I was like, okay, whatever. because legally, it was but what I'm trying to say is that if I went to a publisher would be like, dude, this one's got to go. And that was one of my babies that I was not going to allow.
The reason why
slaughtered.
I felt so strongly that you were going to be fine with that is because, number one, with a third person there's no expectation of privacy.
Yeah.
So you're talking about this man's dick, right?
I did, yeah.
And he is not expecting you to have kept your this encounter private because of the third person.
I wasn't worried about the privacy rules. It wasn't a privacy issue, because the privacy issue is definitely not.
I was. When I was helping you edit your book, I wanted to make sure nobody could accuse you of violating anybody's privacy, because I feel like that's a really big deal.
Well, fair enough. But I wasn't. I was worried about just, the veracity, being able to prove it, because that's basically, they're like, don't publish it if you can't prove it. It's basically the blanket advice. if you're writing a memoir, they're like, or change the names. So I was just like, well, I'm gonna publish it because it's true.
Yeah.
I also have the benefit of writing about celebrities, so they have different, much more, we'll say, much less privacy protection.
Oh yeah, well, not if they're
than
nude.
you or I.
I mean, not if everybody has the same. That's a high bar. If
It's actually not true. I can tell you firsthand that
if they're naked,
for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I mean, regardless, it's like there's no expectation. Here's the moral of the story, folks. If you don't want to end up naked in somebody's memoir, don't get naked in front of your friends. Because then that's their experience that they get to talk about. You know?
Look, the truth
You've
is
given them an experience that they can talk about.
Yeah, and like the truth is that the things that take place in my book are not there because I just want to make them look bad. Like these are the things I chose, specific things. I didn't choose everything. Do you know what I mean?
No, there was a lot more of embarrassing
like
stuff.
I hope they're all sitting around and remembering, since they,
remembering the secrets you did
because
keep.
there's a bunch of secrets I did keep, and that I plan to continue to keep because they're not relevant to what was core to the book, core to my experience with them, and the betrayal that I experienced by them.
No, it's true. Every time that you're talking about something embarrassing that they're doing in this book, you're talking about it because these were moments where they exploited their friends.
Yes.
Or had disregard for their friends, or were doing some sort of weird like power game, like some fucked up, like making everybody uncomfortable for their own entertainment type shit.
Yeah.
Like it's just it does paint a picture of patterns of behavior that makes it so much more understandable why these people are so fucked that they would betray all of their friends and ruin their greatest collaborative work together. Like, what kind of fucking people do this? Oh, it's the same type of people that do this other stuff that's also in this book, Like, they're fucked up people.
Well, we've spent enough time on this. Hey, Hinata is here, and Cosmic Urgency is here now, and Conley DiCaprio is here. Good to see her and all of you.
Cosmic Urgency said, that is why I isolate myself.
Yeah.
So you don't end up in a group of messed up friends. That's the best.
Cosmic Urgency's laying out the books he read that he loved.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Mine is not on the list because
Cosmic Urgency's first time
read my
loved
book.
reads of 2025.
Yes.
Drum roll.
Yes.
Ready? Okay. Okay. The Long Walk.
Great book.
Stephen King.
Yeah.
Misery.
Great book.
One of his best.
Yeah.
Carrie.
I never read it.
Another excellent. You never read Carrie?
No.
Okay, we're gonna remedy that problem.
I loved the movie.
Life of Chuck. Do you know that one?
No.
Is that a memoir? What is that? Will you look it up?
Well, yeah, sure. Let's look it up.
Something called Blockade Billy. Don't know that one either. Rage. That was Stephen King. I think that one was a Bachman book, actually. Anyone's Ghost, August Thompson. The Lost World by Michael Crichton. Ooh, I bet that's really good. And Lie With Me, Philippe Benson. Okay, that's a good list.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna look these up myself, and then I'll read them, and then Cosmic Urgency and me will be in like a little book club.
The Life of
And
Chuck.
it'll be so cute.
A sweet, sad adaptation of Stephen King's. Say what?
Oh, The Life of Chuck is a Stephen King
Oh
too?
no, that's a series.
Oh,
Life of Chuck book. Yeah, I guess it is. I haven't read Stephen King. I didn't read any Stephen King this year. Yeah, it's a Stephen King novella.
Oh, okay.
About the life of Charles Chuck Krantz.
You see how many, like, there's at least like 5 books on this list from Stephen King. And that's not even like a fraction of his bibliography, because the guy, I don't know how he does it. I'm wondering whether it's all fake.
It's very funny because like somebody was asking on Suggest Me a Book. Like they were like, I've never read Stephen King. What should I read first? And I wrote my comment, and I started it with, I've only read 30 or 40 of his books.
So just a small portion.
Yeah. I've only read 30 or 40 of his books, so I'm not entirely qualified. But I would say the best of the 30 or 40 that I read would be Misery.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really, really good one. As a first book, I think probably Carrie is a really, really good introduction because it's short and has all of the really great elements. It's also early too, so if you have an interest in reading more of his, then you've already got kind of your chronological progress down, you know?
Grifter's Griffin, is asking how much my book is. It's $4.99 for the Kindle edition. It's $25 for the paperback. And if you buy it off my website, I sign it. I wouldn't care about that. But if you do, I will. And I'm just telling you, like, if somebody was trying to sell me a signed copy of their book, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. But somebody told me I should do it, so I do it.
You enjoy doing it too.
I do like signing. I mean, sure. I guess I guess it's rewarding. Yeah, I guess it's rewarding to sign a book. It doesn't matter though.
What I think is really adorable about watching you sign your books is you get really anxious because you're like,
well, I'm about to stain it.
Yeah, you're about to. Dale and I often go to the used book sales, and it's a pet peeve of ours when people write in their books. So I think that you've got this like psychological barrier or something. You can't write in a book, even if it's your own book.
It makes me stop. And you can also, by the way, read it for absolutely nothing on Kindle Unlimited. And you can get a free trial for Kindle Unlimited, which is a really cool deal because I still get paid a little bit, much less than I would get paid on the other two options, even the $5 book. But I don't give a fuck about that. What I really care about most is people reading it. So don't let cost be a barrier. You can go and read the book for absolutely nothing by getting a Kindle Unlimited free trial. And the best part about those free trials is they're probably 2 or 3 months long. And if they're 2 or 3 months long, just remember to like set a timer, put it on your calendar to cancel that shit if you don't want to spend it beyond that. But what's really cool about that is you'll get through my book in a week or two if you love it. Probably less than 2 weeks. I don't know. My book reads so fast because it's dialogue driven. Mm-hmm. So you'll get through it quickly, which would leave all this time to read the fuck out of so many great books. Like Terry Pratchett has 17 books or something like that on
Kindle Unlimited.
On Kindle Unlimited, Terry Pratchett is a feast of good times when it comes to reading. There's so much good reading on Kindle Unlimited. I don't want to be a shill for Amazon whatsoever, but it's a good good little service to get a free trial out of.
Don't the authors get like a little notification that tells them how much people are reading on Kindle Unlimited? Don't you guys?
What do you mean by that?
Don't you get like a note? Don't you have like a report that says how many pages are read?
Oh my God, this is so great that Lisa Timms is here. I find out how I don't get a report on how many books are read. I get pages read.
Yeah. So isn't that rewarding?
Yeah. To see that pages are read.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the most rewarding.
So that's another reason why people should do.
There are mornings that come around where there's 0. And it's just a slow day for me. When there's no pages read, I'm like Eeyore.
Yeah.
I just kind of get into the kitchen, look back, look forward again.
Yes, Lisa Timms was in recovery.
I was just thinking about you, like hardcore.
Hernias repaired.
God damn it.
I hope your recovery is going well. That sounds really uncomfortable.
I'm
glad that it's happening in like winter where everybody's kind of like indoors and resting, so you can kind of just vibe out on that instead of having to miss out on everything. If it was happening in like the most gorgeous weather in the spring or summer, I think it would be kind of cruel.
The Griffin is asking, why trust me over Leo? I don't think you have to trust either of us. You don't know us, so you don't have to trust either of us. Just read it, and then you'll get your vibe out of it.
Also, there's only one person who's telling the story.
By the way, I released
the book. I think that says a lot about who actually wants to get the truth out. Look, DiCaprio won't talk about this, right? He's never addressed it. The only people who have ever said any part of his story have been his lawyers in the countersuit, which they had to come up with all kinds of reasons why they blocked the film. None of them made any sense. And then his publicist through tabloids. And this was after the settlement when they weren't supposed to talk about it at all. So I think just by virtue of the fact that there's only one person who's trying to tell you the story, and then when you read the story, you'll see how much more it makes sense from your point of view than what you've heard from the publicist side, the tabloid media about this.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a really easy decision to make about who to believe.
Yeah. Well, listen, Leonardo DiCaprio knows my book is out. His representatives have all read it. They read it, and most of them, I'm sure every single one has read it cover to cover. I'm sure his lawyer has read it cover to cover. Like, there's no question. And I released it in September 2024. So the book has now been out for more than a year. And Leonardo DiCaprio hasn't done anything. He has not filed an injunction. He has not tried to, other than suppressing it in the press and trying to get people not to read it, just like he doesn't want you to watch my fucking movie. He wants to, this American wants to stop me in every way possible.
Why is him being an American?
Because it's antithetical to to what America's supposed to stand for, isn't it? Isn't America about art? and freedom of speech and the ability to like fucking be free and express oneself. Isn't that what it's about? Like this fucking tyrant trying to stop my fucking work. Like what the fuck kind of asshole does that?
Yeah.
Like what artist does that to another artist?
Well, the worst thing
cannibalistic is what it is.
Cannibalistic is the right way to put it, I think, because he's not just stopping your art, but he's stopping the art of a whole ensemble of other actors who would have benefited immensely from having this film released in the 1990s when it was supposed to be.
Also, Griffin says that maybe I'm cool, and I might be cool, but says that Leo's cool, and Leo is cool. Absolutely. Listen, Leo's surrounded by people who love him. He's got fans adoring him the world over, tens and tens and tens of millions of them. His actor on actor got 2.2 million views. I mean, the guy is a fucking he's a charismatic magician, and I know this firsthand. I was very close with him for 2 years. I knew him extremely well. I've seen all his parts. You know, we were friends, and I loved him. And what he did to me is unacceptable and appalling. And what he did to other artists is unacceptable and appalling. They're not mutually exclusive. You know, I had a very close family member say to me after all of this shit went down, and they had met somebody who was a friend of Leo's or had worked with Leo. And that person said to them, I don't know, bro, Leo's a nice guy. And then this person came to me and said this to me, right? They were like, I don't know, Dale. I mean, the guy says he's a nice guy. And you're saying he's not a nice guy. See, conflicting stories here. They're not mutually exclusive, dude. What he did to me, unacceptable, fucking absolutely fucking cannibalistic and shitty, and ultimately should be illegal. What he did to Artie Robb, same. What he did to his own friends when he stopped their acting, their performances, Kevin Connolly, Scott Bloom, Tobey Maguire, all of those performances, Jenny Lewis, Meadow Sisto, Amber Benson from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like all these people whose careers mattered.
I believe that Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire should have been kicked out of their
fucking union for it.
Yeah, the actors union should have never allowed them to remain for blocking the work of other actors, of their peers,
it's
of
an
other
unacceptable
union members.
Act. It's an unacceptable act. And look, Leonardo DiCaprio acted, you can read it in the book, but he acted he just overreacted to a fucking lie told to him by his best friend.
Who he didn't even bother to investigate.
No, he just believed him. He just believed him, and he overreacted, and he held on to it for decades. He's had decades to make this right. I was completely silent until 2014. I have been now talking about this for 11 years. I started Free Dawn's Plum in September of 2014, and I released my book 10 years later, almost to the day. So he's had all that fucking time to make this shit right. He's had all that time to huddle it up and be like, all right, guys, let's get Dawn's Plum sorted. This wasn't handled right. You know, I gave him all the fucking room, but he's too arrogant. He's too rich. He's too disconnected. He cannot emotionally incapable of understanding anything about, I think, people outside his exact perimeter and circle.
Cosmic Urgency has a good question.
Yeah.
Well, a comment, but it's my question. Cosmic Urgency said, he's very dull in interviews. Why do you think that is?
Leo?
Yeah.
He hates them.
He hates them.
He hates them.
Publicity.
He hates it.
He doesn't want to have to promote his work. He doesn't want to have to like beg for accolades. He doesn't want to have to do any of this.
I've always said to people,
marketing shit.
I've always said to people, my whole life I've said to people, you know, you have a dream, whatever it is. You want to be a comedian, you want to be an actor, you want to be a director, you want to be a fucking whatever, you want to be a teacher. Whatever it is, there's so much shitty shit you got to do to have your dream. There is no dream without the shitty shit. And for Leo, that shitty shit is publicity. He fucking hates it.
Yeah, it looks like it too.
Yeah.
He looks so uncomfortable the whole fucking time.
Yeah. How is it suppressed? Asked Leela. Well, I mean, it's a very long story ahead around that. Basically, his publicists represent enormous amounts of money. He is friends with billionaires. And so all those people have various ways of suppressing things. Like, for example, I'll give you a good example, actually. So the Vanity Fair article. The Vanity Fair article was supposed to run in March, right the writer started wanting to write that article in December and January of 14 and 15 or 15 and 16, whichever one it was where he won the Oscar for Revenant, right? But the publisher of the editor-in-chief wanted Leonardo DiCaprio, who was surely going to be nominated for an Oscar for The Revenant. Everyone knew that when the movie came out. As much as everyone knows that One Battle of Another is going to fucking be the most nominated movie of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And the editor-in-chief, Graydon Carter.
Yeah.
Graydon Carter is Canadian fucking.
They have this huge Vanity Fair Oscar party every year.
It's the biggest party in Hollywood. Like mostly, it's just like a massive fucking deal. I've never been to it. I've been to the Miramax party, a couple of other massive ones, but I've never been to Vanity Fair. It's really hard to get into, and I'm a fucking nobody nothing, and I've always been, so it's not a surprise that I didn't get in. But people like Leo, they either fucking turn their nose or they go. The door's open to them, obviously. Graydon Carter wanted very badly for Leonardo DiCaprio to be at that party. And so he shut down my story as a favor, because you have to understand that every time the press wants to do something about me or about my story, they go to them.
Yeah.
Because they want comment.
It's social currency for them to offer something of value to them, which is, hey, letting you know there's a bad story about your client.
Yeah.
Would you like us to squash it for you? Now I'm in business with his high-powered, publicists and attorneys and the fucking agents and all the whole system, It's like, it's very advantageous for somebody to bring a little piece of information to them, because then you get in their good graces and they see you as an ally. It's like the whole system of power sort of like, it's a self-referential, like self-feeding cycle, like a feedback loop.
Yeah. Kind of DiCaprio said,
not in it.
One Battle After Another was so good. I liked it. I think it's overrated. Layla thinks it's overrated. Yeah. We did a review on it yesterday, actually.
I'm still not through talking about it. I was thinking about more today. How like the end of One Battle After Another is
endings, because there's more than one.
Okay, but the very end of One Battle After Another is an iPhone ad.
I know.
DiCaprio literally fucking winks at his own selfie in an iPhone.
Yeah.
And that's what serves as the ending of this fucking movie?
It's weird.
I mean, I guess that's what you have to do when you're a filmmaker who has to pay Leonardo DiCaprio's insane fees. Like $25 million is what it costs. Yeah, so I guess you have to put Apple product placement and have DiCaprio wink into the selfie camera.
The entire budget of It Ends With Us. The entire budget of It Ends With Us is Leonardo DiCaprio's fee on every movie he makes. The entire budget of It Ends With Us.
It Ends With Us
was 26.
No, you're not talking about the right movie.
I am. The movie It Ends With Us was $26 million.
The whole movie. And so that's
Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, Jenny Slate, the locations, the DPs, the editors,
the wardrobe that she took over,
like all of it except the publicist, not any of just the movie itself.
Yeah,
all of that movie, all the actors and all the extras and hundreds of people, bro.
That just pays for DiCaprio.
That would only cover DiCaprio
in another movie. So they have to turn the ending of the movie into an iPhone ad. It makes me crazy. One thing I didn't mention yesterday.
Griffin said, "Are you the reason Leo's aged so much due to causing him stress?" Well, let's hope. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind it if I was.
No, man, he's got Diamond Foundry problems. He has P. Diddy problems.
He's got P. Diddy. He's got Diamond Foundry.
He has Malaysia Fund problems.
He's got the Malaysia Fund problems. He's building a resort.
He has a resort in
just north
Israel.
Of a genocide. Yes. Just north of a genocide.
He has those problems.
He's got those problems.
The guy leads a really stressful life.
He also drinks, bro. The guy fucking puts them back, dude.
He has to constantly make sure that there's fresh NDAs for all the women he's dating. That takes a lot of...
Yeah, he's probably...
That stresses you out.
I mean, I bet you that fucking... Look, the shit that's in my book was just the beginning.
Yeah, I know.
Like, this shit ended in 1996.
Fuck that guy for real. Sorry. Do I sound biased?
Leo harmed my life so badly. So, yeah, I'm not a fan. But I'll say this, bro. I respect his work. I do. I don't want anyone to stop watching him. I'm not interested in Leonardo DiCaprio being canceled. This is like an important fucking point that I want to make. Like, I don't have any interest in people turning on him or not watching his movies or hating on him. I don't think any fan should stop being a fan of Leonardo DiCaprio. He has not done a fucking thing to them. Do you know what I mean? He does what they want him to do. They want him to come come on the screen and be as, I guess, beautiful, I guess, whatever they, shakes your fucking whatever fancies your fucking tickles. But, right? Right?
Uh-huh.
But my experience with Leonardo DiCaprio is different. And I get to have my experience with Leonardo DiCaprio. And it's filled with shit. And he was a god-awful human being to me and to my work and to my life. And I'm done fucking playing nice about it. Like, I'm done. I put the fucking olive branch out in 2014 and he spat in my face. And then in 2019, I upped the ante with the Curse of Don's Plum documentary with New York Post. And then he called me a fucking liar and a thief. And that's where the line got drawn, But
you're saying that you don't want him canceled.
No, I don't want him canceled.
Yeah, because what the fuck is that anyway?
No, what is that? Cancel him.
Yeah.
No, go enjoy your movies. Don't fucking, You don't have to hate him because I hate him, or you don't have to fucking, you don't even have to dislike him. You don't even have to think anything bad of him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about that.
I personally find it very difficult to be a fan of someone who would so recklessly ruin his peers' work. Like that there were other actors in your movie who did a fucking exceptional job and would have had a really great elevation in their prospects in the film industry as a result of people seeing their work in your film.
Yeah.
Opposite DiCaprio and, in the ensemble that they were.
Yeah.
It was like really incredible acting. Everybody was so natural. People thought that they weren't even playing parts.
Don's Plum's a good fucking movie.
It's really fucking great. And that he so carelessly took that away from them. I feel like that makes him unanimously irretrievably.
It's a really shitty thing to do.
Fucking bad behavior.
Yeah.
And I can't be the fan of somebody who would like destroy the art form so carelessly.
My point exactly though is that you get to make that choice, and that's cool with you making that choice. If you think that Leonardo DiCaprio isn't deserving of your attention and admiration, etc., or whatever, and in part that because of his actions against Don's Plum and the people involved with Don's Plum, I think that's fair. Like everybody gets to have their own thing, man. I'm gonna do my thing.
Kindly DiCaprio said, "Leo fancies my tickle." Why'd you come up with that?
I was just having fun.
He said,
I'm just having fun.
Whatever fancies your tickle.
Yeah. Isn't it fun?
It is great, yeah. Oh, update on the hockey porn show. It got not very good, guys.
Well, the first episode was like legit.
Yes.
It was like, okay, this is legit. Like,
second episode was just softcore porn the entire time.
Yeah, the second one was
so that's what you're in for with that one.
It was like a Showtime. We'll see if it picks
gratuitously, like, wow, is anything going to happen other than these guys all rolling in the sack?
It's clear that it's like the book series. Now you understand the book series like immediately because the book series is like whatever. There's 4 or 5 books, and it's clearly like it's because like all of a sudden like all the hockey players are gay.
Yeah. Well, so like, the third one,
I was saying like
all of a sudden
one of hockey players after this thing became hugely popular.
Yeah.
Like not just the thing, but the books were very hugely popular. One of like hockey players would be like,
wait a second.
Like, wait, why? Would you go shower, buddy? I don't know if I'm gonna.
That already happens.
Dude's paranoid.
I'm sure every sports team has that.
Well, it's a funny joke, bro. Lisa Timms.
The third episode though has made me rethink whether we're going to continue watching this series. It's not very good.
Yeah, if the third one, I'm going to bow out. If the third one is
we saw the third.
Oh, okay. So if the fourth one, all right. Oh well, I'll go.
The second episode was just sex scenes.
It was.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's why I thought it was one.
The third episode was is like a new storyline with another gay hockey player.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Just the Canadian ones, I guess.
I'm just like watching hockey now, and I'm like, oh, what's up, dude?
Yeah, I know.
What's your boy doing? Layla's asking if
weren't you guys students and it was a favor?
No, it was not yes, it was a favor. Yeah,
none of you guys were students, right?
Huh?
None of you guys were students,
no
right?
one was students, no.
None of you guys were in college or
nobody was in school.
Not even part-time?
No, there was no school.
Do you see? This is a really great example of what the Leo's publicists have done. We've learned so much with the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni trial and all the evidence that's come out that the publicists will literally congratulate themselves about how they've confused everybody and distorted the story so that nobody knows what's true anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the ones that is so clearly fabricated because literally nobody was in school to make a student film whatsoever. And so it just goes to show that none of what you've heard as the official story or like whatever, the tabloid story about Don's Plum is true or believable or credible at all.
Yeah. Can I interrupt with more important news?
Yes.
Questions actually. Delicate's asking about a dog question, Angela. For you.
A dog question.
Yeah,
that must be for me.
What do you think of bark collars?
I think that bark collars are a mistake.
Are they a form of cruelty?
Well, here's the thing that everybody has to understand is that when you have the problem of nuisance barking, that is a dog who is stressed. Regardless of whether they're stressed like bad stress, like distress, or whether they're stressed like overexcited, overwhelmed, like eustress is what they call the positive stress. So you can have a dog who's like super excited and happy and barking, but that's still a stress behavior.
Just tap dancing everywhere.
That's still a stress behavior.
Yeah, it is.
The thing to remember is that relaxed dogs do not vocalize in like a nuisance manner. They just don't. So what you want to do if you want your dog to stop barking is to help them achieve relaxation. And if you're startling them by they're barking, they're stressed about something, and then they're getting startled, that's going to increase their stress, which is going to increase their reflex for barking.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're sabotaging your efforts. It's counterproductive treatment. What it's hoping to have, what they do when they design things like bark collars and shock collars is all of that, is they're hoping that your dog reaches a level of stress in which they're so freaked out that they actually shut down and they suppress the behavior because it's so punishing to do the thing that they're finding naturally they want to do.
Yeah.
That they actually suppress. And that's a really, really damaging thing to do to your dog. You're flooding their bloodstream with stress hormones. It's really unhealthy. So what you want to do instead is try and keep the dog from barking by helping them achieve relaxation, blocking their ability to hear with like, if they're barking about a sound, you want to block their ability to hear by like playing white noise or music or something. If they're barking because they can see something, then you put some fucking privacy film. Like a lot of space management of their space can do a lot. But if there's...
How about removal of the larynx? Can you do that? Is there anything?
Yeah, there's people
who... Can
you
just pluck them
out? They call it debarking. You can actually like take... You can take their... Like surgically damage their vocal cords, and that'll make it so that they bark and they're still fucking stressed and freaked out, but you can't hear it. Anyway, bark collars are antithetical.
Yeah.
You know? They just don't... What you're doing is is adding stress onto a stressed dog instead of what you want to do, which is to decrease the stress.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah, it's cruel. People do it. It sucks.
Layla's asking if I'd be friends with Leo if he apologized. Probably not. He's not going to apologize, but probably not. I know. We'd never be friends again.
He probably has the resources to fix the situation. So if all he was doing was apologizing, that would be a big fuck you.
Here's what I will say, though. I will say that if Leonardo DiCaprio apologized, if Leonardo DiCaprio restored the situation, if there was some restorative justice here, because that's what's required here.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I mean, I would beyond forgive him. You know what I mean? I would fucking bury the hatchet in a minute. You know, I wouldn't say another fucking bad thing about him because I'd be moving on. You know, what this guy has created is a deep and a terrible rut in my life that I cannot leave behind. I produced that movie. I wrote that movie. I'm not going to walk away from it. He hasn't walked away from any of his movies. Well, he has, hasn't he? But do you know what I mean? Like, people, filmmakers don't walk away from their movies. They don't just, especially ones that are fucking good. I made a good movie. I made a movie that was already accepted into Sundance and that was the shoo-in for the Audience Award. It was a shoo-in for the Audience Award. And when you go and you look who won the Audience Award, I would have felt pretty confident that we'd have walked away with it. What does that mean? That means that we get a theatrical release. And what does a theatrical release mean? Probably $30 to $40 million in box office or better. And that would have changed my life in ways unimaginable. And instead, of course, not only did I not experience those rewards, but I ended up, losing out. So
this is an interesting conversation in the chat. Layla Kennedy is asking Kindly DiCaprio, why are you here if you're a Leo fan? No hate, just curious. And Kindly DiCaprio said, Leo has been my favorite person in the world since I was 4 years old. And that's hard to think about now, considering everything. It's very complicated, but I support Dale and Leo both, if that makes sense.
Well, it's very kind.
Kindly DiCaprio like the best.
She's one of the best. She's one of the best humans I've come across. I really think that. I mean, I think that if I had the chance to sit down and hang out with her and just be with her, I think that she would make me a better person just being in the room with me. I'm not even kidding. But I'm not to speak for Kindly DiCaprio, but if you hang out with me long enough, you'll know that I'm just a normal human being who's can be entertaining at times, and I'm reasonably generous with my time. With whatever I've experienced in life, I like to share it and try to help people out. I'm just generally a good dude. You know? So that's why all these people hang out with us. It's because we're decent people. And they're fucking hard to find. You know? Speaking of which, did you hear about Russell Brand?
Russell Rebrand, who is now all of a sudden an evangelical pastor because he has he's got a few accusations.
Well, we're talking about Turning Point, you know, Erica Kirk's favorite guy here. One of her favorite guys.
He just appeared at Turning Point
USA. He just did a Turning Point with four women four of his victims who are now waiting a trial.
I forgot that he's waiting trial.
That this guy is up to go to jail for a very long time.
It's been pending for a really long time. I'm really surprised that he's allowed to be as vocal as he is about. I mean, I guess maybe his lawyers have been kind of curtailing because he'll usually just like lean straight into the Bible stuff.
So this prick goes and does this Turning Point USA with the evangelical Christians. And listen, man, we're in a situation where, you know, we know PDF files or whatever they're called, right? That these people are being protected by the United States government at the highest level. We see that. We know that. Some interesting stuff broke out today that we definitely got to talk about. Is crazy shit. But we know that that's what's happening. And Turning Point USA is one of the leading Christian organizations that is also 100% behind not only the GOP, but this president and this administration. We know this, of course, because after Charlie Kirk was assassinated publicly, it was Donald Trump who came out to the big fucking pyrotechnic show to celebrate his death, life / I don't know what the fuck that was. But they go hand in hand, Turning Point USA and Donald Trump. And what did Turning Point USA do but put Russell Brand on stage? They gave that man a stage
to talk to the youth.
To talk to the youth of America. This man is about to go on trial for the rape of two women.
Not only that, but just aside from all of that, like he's an Englishman. Like
why actually? Huh?
Just aside from all of the scandal.
Yeah, he's also an Englishman. Yeah,
like what the fuck are we listening to him for?
Yeah.
I thought it was America first around here. You know? Like what are we talking about?
I mean, obviously she doesn't mean that from our perspective, but from their perspective.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like they're supposed to be like they're all about America first, but
you're not very on brand.
It's because it's always a lie with these guys, and it's always a hypocritical lie.
Yeah.
So so now today, just days after he appeared for Turning Point USA, the great Christian organization in America, he gets charged again with 2 more counts of rape.
2 different people?
2 different women. He is now accused by 6 different women, and these aren't just allegations that are civil litigation matters. God. These are criminal allegations for which he is standing trial.
Do you think he's going to go to prison?
If he gets convicted of any one of them, yes, he's going to prison. If he has multiple charges. He has 3 counts of grape now. He has an oral grape charge. He has 3 different counts of SA, different forms of SA. And, you know, another one, there's another charge. There's like one of probably the negotiating charges if there's going to be a plea. He is, listen, innocent until proven guilty is for the courts. That's not, people want to throw that shit in your face. That's not how this works. That's not how this works, right? Like everybody knows who killed Rob Reiner, right? So in the eyes of the law, he's innocent until proven guilty. In the eyes of reality, he killed his parents, right?
Right.
We know that. So, and we don't know if Russell Brand committed these crimes. We don't know that. Right now, this man stands accused. Why would you give that man a stage representing Jesus Christ?
Maybe if you're interested, you're like, okay, well, we'll just postpone this until this whole thing blows over. But I'm sure you can understand, Mr. Brand, that we can't have you center stage with all of these pending allegations.
Like we can't have you in the building.
You know, but this is the thing. This is
like we can't have you seen in the vicinity.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Somebody who's smarter than me coined the term. I think it was the grifter economy. Like that. That this is the result of what happens when every person in politics and the public image of, you know, like political debate and all of this news stations and everything, when they're all grifters, then at the top you have only grifters working with each other. And then they just like, they end up grifting each other. So everybody's scamming everybody. It's like just like scams on scams on scams. And so what you've got is Turning Point USA, which is a giant scam organization.
Such a scam.
And they're working with this guy who's a giant
just a scam
fucking...
because it's also a propagandist agenda, right? It
of
just sits there
course.
and they're making voters.
Right.
They're trying to get into colleges because colleges are generally liberal, and they're trying to get in there and like, unplug them,
And Russell Brand with his rebrand, which is so absolutely transparent. It's just absurd that he's even trying. Like, I can't believe that he's got us.
These fuckers, they commit these heinous crimes against women, and then they find the fucking Lord
Yeah, I know.
as their pathway out of it and redemption, to the extent that this guy has the fucking audacity to stand in front of students, of young students. How the fuck can you walk into a room with this guy on the stage and for a minute take this fucking shit seriously?
Well, they don't, is what I'm saying. That they're all scammers,
They're all there.
and they work with scammers.
And you're saying
and
the audience doesn't?
No, I'm saying it's a giant scam economy
For
where
sure,
all
of
it is just the only people they have to work with that are left are fellow scammers, because everybody else who's not a scammer has left. It's like a lot of people left Turning Point because of the way that the work environment changed when Erica Kirk came into leadership.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about this personally, obviously. I'm just seeing what people are chatting about on TikTok. It's just gossip. But there's a lot of people who left, and this is what happens in all levels of any of these organizations, is like if you don't want to be run by scammers, then you leave, and all that's left are the scammers. So they're all working together, and then they end up like
Church of Scientology,
like
basically.
in Trump's first term, they all started cannibalizing each other. Like they were constantly just like attacking each other. It's just all of this ends up in collapse because you can't have scammers working with scammers. That's why you have to have really, really strict like laws and regulations, is to keep everything from being a scam economy.
Yeah. Layla Kennedy said that she has more questions, but she's skeptical and she doesn't want to come off rude. We don't have to be rude to be skeptical, and you can ask as many questions as you want. And if you are rude, I'll just be rude back. And trust me, I will. So just if you're rude, just expect rudeness back. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and.
I think her point is that she's trying not to be rude.
Then I accept the fact that nothing you say is with a rude intention. And so then if you're not here to be mean to me,
and also I think the point for asking that question is she's not trying to antagonize you. So if you end up being angry, then that's what she was trying to avoid.
I am a very emotional guy, and you'll see me. They're like, some people hang out here just to hear me rant sometimes. So I rant, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm a Scorpio rising.
I get why there's questions, though. It's a really, really complicated story.
Ask your questions.
It has been so distorted and convoluted, probably on purpose, for so many years. And I'm really glad that you're finally, you have a book out. You're talking openly about what really happened. And it's really clarifying. Like when I first met Dale and I got really interested in your history, right? I started reading all these depositions, and it's really interesting how your story and R.D. Robb, the director, and then Jerry Metters, you guys, you and David Stutman. So the three producers and the director are all telling the same exact story, all through every single answer to every single event, all the questions in the whole deposition. But then you've got Kevin Connolly, Tobey Maguire, Leo DiCaprio, Scott Bloom, even Artie Glacken, who was kind of not there for a lot of it. They can't get their stories straight because they're on the other side and they're trying to justify having blocked your film, which doesn't make any sense because they never had a good reason to do it in the first place.
Right.
So now after the fact, they're trying to come up with some legal reason why it was okay to do, right? Because they're in a lawsuit. And none of them can tell the same story. They don't even tell the same story about what happened during specific events. They don't have their dates right. Ethan Suplee says he heard a phone call in Mexico when it happened in New York. Like, none of them can ever... They're all lying. They're all struggling to tell the story because none of them are even interested in telling the truth. So I thought that was really clarifying. And your book just makes everything make so much more sense. It's very clear that these guys heard a lie from Tobey Maguire, for some reason decided to believe it. Tobey Maguire successfully stoked enough anger in them that they just became impulsively emotional and decided to ruin their friends. And then I think that they saw that the power that they recognized they could wield was then empowering. And so they just continue doing it without questioning whether it was the right choice. Like you have Kevin Connolly in these depositions admitting to going to each one of Dale and Artie's friends and telling them, there's a line in the sand and you're either on their side or you're on our side.
Yeah. And
how fucked up is that? When you don't even know what the accusation is and it's never been corrupt. There's no evidence whatsoever. It's just a fucking rumor. but he's gleeful about it. He's proud of how he did this, how he ruined his friends. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire admits that he went into Jersey Films where Artie had a 3-picture deal and he poached that deal. Where he goes and he has a meeting and he shit talks Artie Robb so much that now they don't think they can trust working with him and they nix the deal. And Tobey Maguire admits that he did this and is completely unashamed of it.
I hope you're listening to this, Layla, because this is the shit we're talking about. And to say I've had a career is definitely not true. First of all, I would have never made April Apocalypse. I would have never made Small Groups, an evangelical Christian movie. I would have never made that in my life. I made that movie actually because the producer of that movie was a guy who said he was going to invest in a movie I was going to make called Never Say Goodbye, which is going to be my next book. And instead, and I said, well, look, I'm going to help you because you're helping me and I'll develop this movie for you. And so I just ended up producing this movie for him as a favor. But that movie is, my career was 100% ruined. It's well known in Hollywood to have been ruined. Like I'm kind of I found out this is so weird. So I made this Christian movie, right? In 2016, of course, you know about it, Small Group. You were the casting director. You're also married to me, so you were there.
Yeah.
But I made this movie and somebody came up to me or whatever, and they were like, you're the guy who made Don's Plum or something. And I was like, yeah. I'm the guy who made that movie. And he's like, man, I've heard so much about you over the years. And I was like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, dude, you're like basically a cautionary tale. Like that was my dream. Do you know? That was my fucking dream. That was my life, the life I wanted to be. I wanted to be a cautionary tale.
Not an inspiration.
I didn't want to be an inspiration.
Tale.
I wanted to be a cautionary tale.
But
I wanted my life to represent fear.
But this is the way that Tobey Maguire fucking designed it. Check this out. Another thing he fucking admits to in his depositions, Tobey Maguire, is that he told Jerry Metters that if Tobey Maguire had connections to the mafia, that he would have had Artie Robb killed.
Yeah.
He's going around Hollywood and he's telling people he told Jerry Metters, who was a VP of marketing at Paramount. Mm-hmm. So he's telling people at all different levels that he is willing to have the former friends that he's in a feud with, he's willing to have them fucking murdered.
Yeah, he said
and
that.
he admits to it in his deposition. The way he says that he said it was a joke. As if anybody on the fucking planet makes a joke like that.
Nobody makes a plan.
Nobody makes a fucking joke.
Especially,
I wish that I had connections to the mob so I could have my former friend fucking murdered for the crime of nothing that he can articulate.
Especially when the joke is supposedly being uttered while in the deepest and darkest dispute of his entire life.
Yeah. So this is the kind of scorched earth shit that fucking Toby and Leo were intending to put on you guys so that nobody would ever even fucking touch you, because that's how dangerous they were behaving. Yeah. And everybody knows that after Spider-Man and the success of that and Titanic, now they have the resources where, they probably could fucking order a hit on some fucking buddy, Yeah. Like, what the fuck are you supposed to do with people who are talking like that, who also have proximity to power,
So, Layla, Artie Robb's career was shit. Artie Robb's career was trash. Artie Robb was supposed to be a director. The movie, first of all the movies that Artie made, none of them succeeded. Absolutely none of them succeeded, but for some critical acclaim. I believe, and anecdotally, I can't prove any of this, but I believe that his movies were repressed by DiCaprio, and I believe that DiCaprio didn't do it like got on the phone and said, "Hey, don't you ever do anything like that." He already did that. He only had to do that once. He only ever had to do that once. He did that in 1996 when the dispute happened. He cut us off from Hollywood. We could never get a movie made or distributed again.
There's people who witnessed DiCaprio yelling at Harvey Weinstein, "Why the fuck are these guys at this party about you guys?"
Yes.
So it's like, if he's fucking strong-arming people, super power players like fucking Harvey Weinstein, then everybody noticed.
And Harvey Weinstein was like all backpedally too. Yeah. He was like, I didn't invite them. They're not friends of us. We're not doing anything with them. Like, it was all about, and they did invite us, by the way.
Yeah.
That's how I got into the fucking party. I mean, he didn't directly. I wasn't his guest, but.
Like, these aren't good people. You know what I mean? Who fucking behaves like that? And again, they've never been able to articulate what it was they were so afraid of or what they were so mad at you for. Like, also, it's just a fucking lie with no evidence whatsoever.
Also, the financial damage was massive. Like, forget, like the crater in Hollywood, nobody will work with me. Everything I do is entirely and wildly independent. I cannot get a distributor in Hollywood. To this day, cannot do it. Here's a good example of it. This is in the book, but Angela is my witness because Angela was the person who created the opportunity. When I met Angela and fell in love with Angela, it was 2012. And for the first few months of our relationship, I never told her anything about my past because I never really spoke about my past publicly because it's not fucking, it's not flattering, is it? So I said, I didn't say anything about it, but then I was talking to this guy at a bar where she worked. She was a barista at this like coffee bar. And I'm sitting at the bar with this guy and we're talking about movies. And this guy made a movie with Amber Benson. And I said, I made a fucking movie with Amber Benson. He was like, really? What is it? And I was like, Dawn's Plum. It's called Dawn's Plum. And then he knew about it or whatever. And then we had this conversation and Angela was overhearing this while she was working. And she was like, you worked with fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. We'd been dating at this point and I hadn't told her about it. So it became this thing. And then immediately Angela wanted to see it. I gave Angela the disc. And
you actually had to order it.
Oh yeah, I ordered it from eBay.
Mexico.
Yeah, and we got it from Mexico.
We got a Mexican copy from eBay.
I still have it here somewhere.
I know. That was so depressing. Where I'm like, what do you mean you don't even have your movie? And you're like, it was blocked.
It was blocked. So I bought a copy on eBay so that Angela could see it. And then Angela watched the movie. You loved it. After you loved it, you wanted to help me. Well, first of all, you were like, let me read or whatever. What else have you got? So I pitched you Never Say Goodbye, which was my pet project at the time and has been for a couple of decades now. And you were like, oh, fuck, this is a cool fucking project. I'm going to take it to this guy I know who happens to be a big, giant fucking mega producer in Hollywood. And so you take it to him and he likes the idea so much that he's going to help us out. He's going to fucking figure out how we can get this fucking movie made. And this is the best news I've ever had. Actually, this is 2014 by now. So it's 2014 and this is going to be like, holy fuck. I mean, this is just huge for me because this guy is that has the kind of producerial power and influence to easily get the movie that is the scope I was talking about made. And by easily, I mean, it doesn't mean we don't have to get work done. We do, because it's still going to be $1 million. But, his budgets are like $100 million.
It's like the sort of thing, like, I don't know if you guys know about this, but in Hollywood, there's producers who are like at a level where they could just basically call the agencies and say, hey, I have these friends who are little guys, but they want to work with big time actors. And I'm giving you like
package it up.
Yeah.
And so they go and they'll package it up.
So he basically opens the door to access for us if he wants to.
So not to go too far down that rabbit hole, because I'll end up forgetting what the fuck I'm going to say. Angela meets with him a second time because this guy wants to read the script, but I don't work with screenplays, or I don't want to work with screenplays, but rather want to work in the same way that I worked with Dawn's Plum, which is, an improvisational style filmmaking. So Angela begins to pitch that and says, and the guy's like a little cautious about it. And then she tells him, well, he's got experience. He's done it successfully. He made the movie called Dawn's Plum. Well, this guy knew immediately what the movie was. And I'll just let you finish the story so that I don't fuck it up, because you were there.
Oh yes. So he remembered Dawn's Plum. And he was like, oh yeah, I remember Dawn's Plum. That was really great in the 90s, right? And I was like, yeah. He's like, black and white. I was like, yeah, that was. And he was like, oh, that was really well done. But I can't work with him. And I was like, well, why?
Meaning me.
Yeah. And he was like, well, I can't get on the wrong side of DiCaprio because they had a big fight about the movie, and I can't get on the wrong side of DiCaprio. And I was like, okay, but like, you're like a producer. And, because I'm so naive, I was like, and DiCaprio is just an actor. Like, I'm sure certainly in like the hierarchy of positions in Hollywood, the producer, who is the guy who's like who's been producing successful, like mega budget films since the 90s. Like, certainly you have some more pull. Like, aren't you more powerful than DiCaprio? Why are you worried about getting on the wrong side of him? Like, he doesn't call the shots. You do. You're the producer. And he was like, well, nobody's more powerful than DiCaprio, is what he told me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, that that changes things.
So look, he shut down the fucking movie, dude, in 2014. Almost 20 years after shooting that fucking movie, I'm still blacklisted in Hollywood.
He said, I can't get on the wrong side of DiCaprio because nobody's more powerful than DiCaprio, and I don't want to get on the wrong side of that.
And it was my name.
By aligning with Dale Wheatley.
Yeah, it was my name. It was any kind of association with me that pulled them out. Look, I've got people who want to work with me. I got this guy recently who wants to work with me. He's inspired by me. He's inspired by my work. Loves my book like to the moon. And he's super talented, this guy. Like, I mean, I'm fucking excited about this human being and his future. If this guy was in Hollywood, I believe he'd be on a rocket ship to the top.
Mm-hmm.
He just has to get into the stream. He just needs to find the fucking the moment. It's not that tough actually. Not with what he's got. Okay,
I know.
This guy's got the stuff, and you know what the stuff is, Cosmic. Can't get enough of that stuff. And so he wants to work with me. This guy wants to work with me. He wants to pay me a lot of money to develop this movie for him, but he cannot and will not allow my name to be associated with anything to do with it.
And like for what ultimately? Like
no, he's wise. He's smart.
No. I'm not talking about him anymore. I'm talking about like, so why did you deserve all that? You know what I mean? Like, what was it that you did? Can they even articulate what it was? Does Toby and Leo even know what it is that you apparently did that was so bad that you deserved all this? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows because
nobody
can
anything. Say
I did not do anything
because you're a fucking innocent person.
I didn't do anything.
Who somebody got mad at 30 years ago.
You know what I did? I poured my fucking heart and soul into the movie. I respected my friends the whole way through it. All I did was try to make something that they could be proud of and something that would help their careers as much as it might help mine. And that's all my objective was. My heart was on my sleeve the whole time. I never lied to a soul. I never betrayed anybody. I don't even understand the concept of betrayal. Why would I need to betray anybody? Leonardo DiCaprio was over the moon for the movie. Yeah. He was so excited about the movie after he saw it that I couldn't believe my luck.
No, I know. It's really great where you're trying to explain to them. You have this in your book where you're like, why the fuck would I try and fuck over the star of my movie?
Yeah, I mean, it's so stupid.
But then here we are, like so long after, and here we've got this case, this Lively v. Baldoni case, and that's exactly what he fucking did. Baldoni tried to fuck over the star of his movie.
Bethany Ashton was not blacklisted, no. Artie Robb, Dale Wheatley, me, Jerry Metters, and John Schindler were
it was just you guys because you were in the circle of friends, right?
Well, we were their targets. We were the ones standing up for the movie.
Yeah.
So, those of us who stood up for the movie paid a cost, paid a price. And it was a very painful one. Indeed. So keep the questions coming if you have them. I'm going to continue with my thumbnail. Well, first of all, we should do some chat that isn't just Don's Plum related. Like Cosmic Urgency's like got some cool shit going on.
Layla Kennedy asked, Kevin Connolly from Entourage, and Cosmic Urgency said, Kevin Connolly from Beverly Hillbillies.
That's what I'm talking about. The director of fucking
Gotti. Layla asked,
no,
did you guys never just like talk about it ever?
Yeah, you got to read the book. You really do. It's so much. I can't like go over it because it's just literally like so much, but it's in the book. And the
answer is yes.
We tried. We certainly tried to. Ineffectively. Yeah. We certainly tried to. I mean, I'm ready to talk to him right fucking now. Right fucking now. Sit down. Like call fucking. Let's hook up a Zoom.
Get DiCaprio on the phone.
I mean, that sounds funny I guess to some people. It doesn't sound funny to me. Like get DiCaprio on the fucking phone. Let's have a fucking conversation. But you know what? He's too much of a fucking coward. You know what? He's too powerful. He's too almighty. He talks to me with this fucking Jennifer Lawrence. He's talking about, why I had to make it at acting to get out of that neighborhood. He was on a fucking series when he was 12. And she made fun of him in the interview for it. He was on a series when he was 12. The amount of money that fucking kid had made in one single week at the same age of me in Winnipeg took me over a year delivering 100 newspapers a day.
Okay, but you're not angry at him for being a rich kid.
I'm not. I'm saying it's bullshit. I'm saying it's lies. He's trying to say, I need to get out of, like she said, it's all prefaced by her going, you didn't grow up rich. And he was like, no. And he's like, all like, my tough life.
Here's the thing though. If you think about how long DiCaprio has been rich, like really crazy rich, like so stinking rich, like his life is incomparable to any of ours.
Dude, I met him when he was 19. He was a millionaire.
But listen.
At 19.
So if you think about how long he's been that fucking stinking rich, where he just doesn't have to think about anything, and you think about anybody's normal upbringing in like middle class.
Yeah,
that's poverty to him.
Yeah, but it's not poverty.
Thinks it's super
but
poor.
It's not poverty. But the point I'm making is so what that his perception's so distorted that he thinks that having a house with a fucking pool in the back is poverty.
And that's what he had, right?
Owning a home is poverty for them. Just it's a joke. But okay, whatever. This is my point with him, and the thing that bothers me most about him is like become aware. Like it's not difficult to become aware. You're not fucking Buddha, bro. Nobody fucking kept you inside the castle. We walk downtown all of us, all the time. It's just ridiculous. But to continue, he didn't come from a bad neighborhood. At 12 years old, he was making thousands of dollars a week on a sitcom and doing commercials. The kid was fucking killing it already. He was a fucking entire like third income in their household. It's incredible. So he just makes a bunch of shit. And I actually had a different fucking goddamn point that I lost now. But anyway, Leonardo DiCaprio. So frazzled? Huh? Well, this it's the fucking my favorite topic.
Okay, well, we don't have to talk about it anymore.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I don't mind. I
don't like to see you, so
I'm okay. It's okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, Layla has more questions about I'll read the book too. It's hooked me now.
Oh my God. Austin's just dropping bombs.
Yeah. So Austin is dealing with a horrible legal situation.
Oh fuck. I just hate people so much.
Stepmom has colluded with the executor to change the father's will. And switched from,
now you're going to get a lawyer and it's just going to be a probate fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare, but I think that this sort of thing is extremely common and you'll probably prevail. Because switching from 50-50 to favor her side, stealing $300K from the sons is what Austin's saying.
That is just goddamn awful.
He has known the executor since age 6 and cared for her until the end. Total betrayal. I think that this is possibly something that, any good probate lawyer is going to understand exactly what's going on there.
It's
like tale as old as time type shit,
I'm just so sad for you because you're going through the death and the grieving, and then you have thieves among you, and I'm sorry that you have to go through that, and I just hope you prevail, and I'm really I'm in shock for you. I'm in shock with you. That's just, as soon as I read it, I just stopped everything. I was like, fuck.
Also switching from 50-50 is just so. That's so ghastly because you're already you're getting 50%. Already it's not, it was a nice, nobody would argue with that.
It's the grossest thing.
But to be oh, that's not enough. I'm going to take more.
I better write a will. Don't worry. You're going to get the Steam Deck.
I get the blender too, right?
Yeah, you get the blender. Cosmic Jersey is going to come in here and scoop up the ATEM switch. Why do you live with his mom if he was rich? Well, he was still a kid, man. He was 19 when I was hanging out with him, and he was living with his mom.
Yeah, man. Your mom fucking cooks for you, does all your fucking laundry and shit.
He was fucking.
And you're under 18.
Dude, I told my shots over the bow in the New York Post documentary, I talked about how he would show up at RD's house and with girls because he lived with his mom and he wanted to have sex with these girls. So he'd show up at RD's house and RD'd be like, "No, dude," and he was like, "Come on, bro. Come on, bro. And my mom's, come on." And RD'd be like, "Oh, Leonardo, bro." And then so Leo would come over to his house, and then RD, he always makes these jingles up.
That's just what he does. He's
one of those guys.
His brand of comedy.
I do it too all the time.
He just makes little songs.
This is part of why we were such great friends because it's something I've done my whole life as well. And so he did it, and as soon as we started, I was like, "Oh, you make jingles? I make jingles." His jingles were the best though, and the one he made about Leonardo DiCaprio, which I sang for the world on that documentary, was, "Oh, Leonardo, don't shoot your load, bro." Because this guy would come over and he would have sex with women in his bed,
mess up his sheets, That's ridiculous.
And then he would. He would turn into this a fast beat one. You go, "Oh, Leonardo,
it's fine,
load, bro. Oh, Leonardo."
You know what's so great about RD coming up with jingles is that he grew up on Broadway, right? Doing fucking musical theater. So he was trained up on all the musical theater.
Yeah,
so
of course,
all of his jingles probably had jazz hands.
He had a little fucking jazz hands in it for sure. Yeah, well, Leo lived with his mom. It wasn't weird though. It wasn't weird, and I didn't think it was weird. He was 19 years old. My brother was living with my mom and dad at the same time. He was probably 25 at the time. You know what I mean? Fucking people were living with their moms. Obviously Leo had money, but I think he was also supporting his mom.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might have been paying that mortgage. I wouldn't doubt it.
Also, the guy's fucking traveling a lot.
But he was a millionaire.
So most of the time, he's not living with his mom.
No.
Most of the time, he's living in hotels because he's put up by the production, you know? Like, and you were telling in your book, like, the span of time, he's probably there. He's probably back home for, like, just a few months in, like, 2 years, you know, because he's constantly off working.
Look, Leo was this kind of lovely thing. Like, look, back in the 90s, there was like a naivete, like an innocence, kind of a, just like an inexperience to him.
Yeah, he still has that.
That was so utterly charming.
It is weird.
But it was like living with his mom was like this, like a level of security amongst all of this crazy going around in his life. Like he was getting, when we were making Dawn's Plum, we had set up some dates to shoot that we had to move because he booked a commercial that they shot in Vegas for Hyundai or Hyundai. I think it was Hyundai. It's a fucking Japanese manufacturer for a car.
A car commercial?
That
he had to go shoot?
$3 million. This was before Titanic. This is before.
He got $3 million for a commercial?
$3 million.
For a Japanese car commercial?
For a Japanese car commercial.
It was only going to air in Japan, right?
Only in Japan.
I think you can find those online too.
He got $3 million fucking dollars, dude.
Where he has to like take off his glasses, you know, like the Hollywood style, and like scoop up a girl and like, you know, drink a beer or something.
Between the legs, smoking a doob.
And like get in the car and look cool, you know?
Yeah. So I think living at home was a bit of what was charming about him, actually, because it was as if, he he wasn't quite ready to leave the nest despite the fact that he was rich. I mean, he had enough money to buy him and his mom a house in cash and still have plenty left over. And that was before he even had, I don't even think he had, well, I guess he had, he did have Basketball Diaries at that point, but I mean, he had no box office success at all in his life, but he had every break in the book. I mean, the kid, he talks like he was like, I clawed my way out of this kid never missed. He never missed. He was on a sitcom by the time he was 12.
No, but they have to have that lore about him. Here's the thing is that his public persona has been crafted by publicists since he was a child. So he probably doesn't even really understand his own story anymore because he's had to tell this false one so much.
Yeah.
Like they had to be like, oh, well, we love a rags to riches story, so that's what we're just going to do for you. He was talking about how he had one manager who wanted to change his name, so he was going to live with a false name. And like you do that kind of thing to a kid and it starts to distort their own self-perception,
Yeah.
Where like he's not a rags to riches story, and
Not
that's
at all.
okay. But they crafted one for him so that he could go and tell, because he was constantly being interviewed. This is one thing that we know about DiCaprio in his early career is that he was so beautiful that everybody wanted to interview him and put them in the magazines, which is probably why he hates doing publicity now.
I bought my first car for $75. It was a Ford Pinto. It was so awful. It was so bad. It was $75.
$75 for a car?
And I painted on it because
why
it
did
was
they even bother charging
it was
that?
such a cheap car.
Should have just given it to you for
and
free.
I knew I was only going to drive it until it ran out of oil, basically.
Right.
So I just painted on a Dale's car by spray paint, and so that everyone knew it was my car. And
that makes sense.
Yeah, like which car's yours? The one with my name on it. And but that was my first car, and it was the only car I had until I got my first car. Like the next car I had was probably, it was a long time after that. I mean, because I moved to America where I didn't get a car for many years there, years and years. Like fucking Leonardo DiCaprio from like 16 years old, since he had a driver's license, had like a new car. It's just such a weird thing that he tries to. It's just this thing. And
nobody believes it.
Yeah, I'm reading this book, this great book right now, called "The Soul's Code" by Soul's Code. It's not an easy. I don't know. I'm getting a little tired. So, what's it called? Soul's Code. Who's the guy? James Hillman.
I just think your Canadian accent is so adorable sometimes when it comes out. The Soul's Code.
So he's James Hillman, and in the book he's talking about how people like make shit up.
Yeah.
In their lives, as a matter of like ways in which they design a narrative around the kind of people they want to be and do. And I think that's where, that's funny. Somebody says, so basically we were Entourage. And I think it's more like Entourage was us is probably how that actually goes.
Yeah.
I think basically, so Entourage was us is probably, at least in part, true. And, more them than me, because I was around for a couple of years, and then Titanic happened. And when Titanic happened, Leo and I had already fallen out. So I didn't get the big time Leo. I never hung out with Leo when he was, ridiculously famous, just somewhat famous.
You wanted to talk about some salacious details from the Epstein files.
Yeah, let's get that done real quick, shall we? Epstein files, guys. Jesus. So first of all, I've said this. So I told you I made this movie, Small Group, and then I ended up in this real verbal blasting with the evangelical director of that movie, Matt Chastain. We ended up in this big fight over Donald Trump. And one of the fights we had I was like, because he was like part of what got that guy elected. And I was like, listen to me. What about your children, dude? Because this guy was a father of like kids and whatever. And I was like, he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, this dude that you're just electing president is a credibly accused rapist of children. And I knew this only because there was a deposition by his victim. I think she goes by Katie Johnson, but I'm not sure.
Katie Johnson, I think, is the.
Am I screwing that up?
No, it would be a Doe victim.
It wasn't a Jane Doe. Anyway, she went by a certain name, and I don't know if it was her name. They didn't call her Jane Doe, so I'm imagining it was her name. And I listened to this deposition excerpt, excerpts of this deposition, which it was like a little over an hour's worth of deposition, and it was the most horrid thing. And she described being assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein and by Donald Trump.
I hate this topic.
And, well, okay.
No. We don't have to stop. It's so uncomfortable. I just can't believe that we're talking about public figures in such prominent positions in our government. And this is the story that comes out. It's just like, I shouldn't be surprised because the American project has been such a fucking clusterfuck for so long that it's like this isn't even the most heinous thing that we've discovered about our government and its operatives. But it's just so shocking still. Like, it's so repulsive. Like, it's very strange. How is this real? Why is it continuing? How come there's nobody in charge of making it cease to continue? Like, why? You know how they say that the White House is the people's house? Why the fuck is this guy still in our house? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck? Why is it? Does this not earn you expulsion from our house?
Well, I think there's an effort that might become bipartisan to end that. And part of the reason is because today an FBI file was revealed where somebody had called in and there was, I forget what they call it. There's a specific term they call it at the FBI in terms of intake. I think they call it intake. And so they were getting intake on, and it was a caller who, with, I guess, the victim, called in this grape of this child, which took place between Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. So this is one of the files. Now, I've heard, I have no idea of how real this is or to what extent it has any legs, but I've heard that the Epstein files has extensive evidence of this event. And this will be the event that, if it gets out, will topple this president. It will topple him. Because fortunately. I mean,
you say that, but like everything else should have. Like the fact that he...
Yes, but the difference between everything that should have and everything that will happen is if there's enough proof to convince his supporters. See, the thing that you're missing out on is that
of anything?
Everything... Well,
because it's criminal behavior.
It doesn't matter. They have to be.
The law should be enough.
It isn't.
I know.
But if there is evidence that convinces them,
this is why I've lost faith in the whole thing. It's like, what are we even doing?
Yeah.
And convincing his supporters, it's like, why? So the whole country is at the whim of fucking idiots who don't understand tax policy. You know what I mean? Like, is this what we're doing?
Layla, if you like the Christian movies, then the movie I made is called Small Group, and it's free on YouTube. So you should go check it out. Actually, Connie DiCaprio is a fan of it. Are you not? I don't mean to speak for you. Anyway, listen, I'm excited about this because there's so many things that dropped. There's some weird photographs of apparently of Epstein after he had attempted to unalive himself.
Yes. Oh, the
those were
conspiracy
weird.
theorists are conspiracy theorizing too. So
Yeah.
so check this out. I wanted to share this with you today. There's this wonderful woman who has put this all on TikTok, which is where you get all your best conspiracy theories.
Right.
And she's making a very compelling argument for the suggestion that Epstein was poisoned. So check this out. Do you want to hear the conspiracy theory and how it goes down?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Lay it down.
So you know how Alan Dershowitz has been named in the Epstein files. He's not implicated in any crimes, although, we don't really believe that he was around for everything and not somehow guilty. But he's very litigious. So, of course, we're going to stick to the story that Alan Dershowitz did nothing wrong.
Well, we don't know what he did. He claims to
However,
have done nothing wrong. We don't know what he did.
So check this out. The reason I'm bringing up Alan Dershowitz is that he defended a man. He's a defense attorney. Okay?
His name is so close like Dershowitz. You know what I mean? Like it's close to Dershowitz.
Well, right.
It just is. It must have been terrifying for him to be a Dershowitz.
He is a defense attorney who has been the defense attorney for some of the most awful people
O.J.
in
Simpson,
American
for
history.
example.
So he was the defense attorney for a man who was accused of murdering his wife by giving her insulin.
He also gave us the Kardashians, did he not?
Who?
Was that Dershowitz? No, that wasn't Dershowitz.
It wasn't Dershowitz.
That was the other guy.
Can we
Yeah.
stay with the story? This is a conspiracy I'm trying to lay out for you.
Okay, I'm with you.
In Dershowitz's career, he defended a man who was accused and tried for murder of his wife.
Yes.
The murder apparently was allegedly achieved by poisoning her with insulin.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein. So this is Dershowitz.
Seems clever to me.
So they made a movie about this, actually, about Dershowitz and his client, who I think he was exonerated. Okay?
Dershowitz was exonerated?
Dershowitz's client, who was accused of murdering his wife with insulin injections. Because if you don't need insulin and you're injected with insulin, it is sickening. It can put you into a coma.
Huh.
Okay?
Yeah. Damn, because I was thinking maybe I might. But okay, I won't.
Yeah.
That's good heads up.
It's not a party drug. Okay?
Bummer. But,
Okay, so
since
listen.
I quit drinking.
Dershowitz is tied closely to Epstein and Trump and like they're a whole big happy family. Okay?
Yeah.
So when Epstein goes to prison, they have to do a medical intake. Okay, so it's on record that Jeffrey Epstein was pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
Okay, that was like his condition. He had a health condition. He was pre-diabetic. Now, once he was in prison, he was apparently administered prescribed insulin, which is not something that you would ever give somebody who is pre-diabetic.
No, give them orange juice.
What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to help them manage their diabetes with diet.
Yeah.
One of the things that is now released in these files is that Jeffrey Epstein was complaining to prison staff because he was not being fed properly, and it was making him unable to manage his pre-diabetic status. He was also apparently on medications.
I need oysters.
He was complaining about not having access to the bathroom as often as he needed, which is one of the side effects of this other medication that he was on.
Really, he didn't get one with a toilet?
No, I mean, he did. I don't understand. This is what I'm telling you what this lady says.
I'm just responding.
I should actually cite her because her videos are really amazing. So I will show you later and then we can put it in the show notes. Okay.
Okay.
So she was talking about how he was being prescribed insulin. Okay.
Yes.
But he did not have a condition that called for using insulin. So whether he was administered insulin or whether he was prescribed and not administered is still a question. However, if he was given insulin with his condition that we know in the medical records, it would have made him sick and possibly pass out.
Mm.
So the conspiracy
It's juicy.
is that maybe they incapacitated him by medically giving him a medicine that would incapacitate him.
Yeah.
And then they did the deed.
Hung
We
that
don't
man
know.
by his neck.
We don't know. But it's possible in this vulnerable place that maybe Dershowitz was like, hey, I have an idea. You know what else happened? Just a month before Epstein lost his life in some strange circumstance that we don't really know the truth of, okay? A month before Epstein lost his life.
A neck dangling situation nonetheless.
A month before Epstein lost his life, the guy in the trial that Dershowitz defended, he also passed away under suspicious circumstances.
Yep.
So he couldn't talk about what had happened.
I just want to make this comment really quick because I've been hanging on to it for too long. Cosmic Urgency recommends the movie Tangerine, Sean Baker.
We've seen it.
We've seen it and love it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that movie. And so I like just, he was offering it to us. And although we've seen it, just want to endorse it for anyone else who hasn't. For me, I would give that movie probably 4 tiny pineapples. Having it not be fresh, I can't necessarily just hand out tiny pineapples. so freely, but it would probably be in that 4 range. Really great movie. Damn, Dale, let Angela cook. What was I doing? Was I interrupting you?
Mm-hmm.
What did I do?
Oh, no, I mean, I was done, but do you have anything that you want to say about this crazy conspiracy?
I think that he was, I don't believe for a second that he offed himself with regards the situation there. I don't, whether they did it through insulin or whatever. Look, come on, man. The cameras weren't working. The guards were sleeping. I mean, like dominoes, they fell. But look, there's another piece of evidence that ought to be considered. And that is that Donald Trump got into office. Ghislaine is sitting in prison, serving 20 years in a regular shitbox prison that we have in America. And the Department of Justice officials went and visited Ghislaine. Talked to her mm-hmm. at length.
Yep.
After they visited her, Ghislaine put out a statement that Donald Trump was never, ever involved in anything salacious or illegal with regards his friend Jeffrey Epstein, right? Remember that he didn't really hang out with him all that much, but Ghislaine suddenly had an absolute fucking, So the Department of Justice met this woman. She puts out a statement that basically says that, that it is meant to exonerate Trump of any wrongdoing with regards Epstein. And then she gets moved to a cushy prison. Right afterwards, bro, she got moved out, and then she got moved to a cushy prison where this prison is known for transitioning people into out work or whatever they do, where you go and you work all day and you just come home and sleep at night at the prison. So basically she's going to be out there smoking cigarettes and having fucking martini lunches and then heading back to jail to go to bed.
Yeah.
And that is after the Department of Justice. This woman was involved in the largest pedophilia ring since the Catholic Church.
Yeah, she's actually a threat to society. I don't know why
she's
allowed to walk around other. If there's
we know why.
Children anywhere in her vicinity, they're in danger.
Yeah, well, we know why, but we know why because the Department of Justice and the Trump administration has lessened the blow, and they did this because they had the very sensible conversation with her. The Department of Justice had a very sensible conversation. Donald Trump cannot pardon you until his term is over. Once his term is about to end, you will be pardoned. Until then, you're going to have to sit tight. Well, then I need to get out of here. This place is despicable. Like you can make up the dialogue in a minute here.
Okay, but you're still making up dialogue.
Of course I am. I just said so. Austin says he is alive.
Yeah, that's what I think.
That's the other theory.
I'm like, okay, a guy who's got access to all the most powerful people in the world. He's like basically like the nexus of this giant web of conspiracy. He owns his own island, and everybody is personally indebted to him for not exposing their wrongdoing. You don't think for a second that maybe that guy would be protected? Maybe that guy would have been like pulled out of jail and like spirited away to some secret hiding place where he can just continue to like hang out and be cool like everybody, loves about him. Like it's just crazy. A person this connected could ever be harmed instead of saved.
He could be alive. I doubt it. I think he's dead.
I think they found a double, Especially these days, man. Have you seen what they can do with these like latex masks? They look exactly the fucking same.
So you're right.
Like there's no reason why it couldn't have been like just like a prop on that gurney, The cameras were off. Come on. Do they think we're stupid? Anyway, there's no conspiracy too weird for me to think about in this situation. Everything's weird. Everything's fucking weird about this case. The weirdest thing about this whole case is that Donald Trump is still in the White House.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I think the weirdest part.
Like, look, I know you're going to be cynical about this and you have every reason to be jaded, but I really truly believe that we are in the midst now of a bipartisan swell that is going to remove that man from office. And I think it might happen before the midterms because he is there. It's going to be a slaughtering. He has so screwed this country up. In 1 year, he has grown the deficit by $2.3 trillion. It is the fastest accumulation of debt the country has ever fucking seen in its history. And he's a Republican. He's a fucking Republican. I mean, his whole fucking existence is supposed to be fiscal responsibility.
I mean, come on, he's a Democrat. Everybody knew that he was a lifelong Democrat.
That's not what he ran as. He's a fucking GOP.
Yeah,
and they're supposed to be going in there and being fiscally responsible, and they're not. We already know he's a fucking lying crook. We already know he's a fucking scumbag. We can, go on and on and on about that. But but the landslide that they might be facing, and I'm skeptical, as I always have been with politics, but the landslide that they might be facing is in part due because he's this guy. He created Doge, had no effect at all except ruining the lives of so many government employees who had secure jobs, pensions, building, all this other stuff, whatever it is. He fucking just axed them, Republicans, Democrats alike. They all lost their jobs by fucking this asshole who has no political fucking experience whatsoever comes into our government. And just fucking, I mean, come on, man. So anyway, I loathe them all. May they burn in hell, even if I don't believe in such a thing.
I think it'd be pretty cool if they experience some justice here,
Cosmic Urgency is right. He's like, you need to edit a Don's Plum trailer saying stuff like the movie they don't want you to see, banned in the USA, blah, blah, blah. I do. I got to say that, God, you know how much time I have?
None, absolutely none.
And the worst part about it is like, I'm not a trailer cutter. And that's a thing, I'm not a trailer cutter. I'm an editor.
It is an art form, man.
It's an art form.
Yeah.
So, but me, I'll be like, okay, I'll cut a trailer, and I'll spend 6 months to a fucking year because I'll be studying the art form until I get it to the point where I can cut something that's even reasonably.
What would be fucking ideal is if Dale had a fund so that he could pay somebody who's skilled enough and like enjoys cutting trailers, and then you could just simply direct it because you're so good. You're so good at being a director and producer.
I am.
But having to do it all yourself is just exhausting.
I'm not good at doing it all myself. I would go as far as to say I am an excellent producer. I think I'm as good as anyone out there given the opportunity.
Cosmic Urgency brought this up yesterday too. And today, do you want to talk about James Ransom?
Oh, this is the kid that unalived, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about him or do you?
Because he's in, what you call it, isn't he? That's
super
right.
sad.
He's in, R.I.P.
So
Depression takes another one.
He was in Tangerine. He was really great in that movie. He's great in everything that he ever did. He was, I knew him first when we watched The Wire. He was awesome at that. Mm-hmm. He was in the It remakes, and he was really perfect casting in that one. I think one of the things that I really appreciated, I never knew his name, but he's one of those guys that shows up on the screen and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, this guy's going to kill it.
Yeah, in Hollywood, we called them that guys.
Yeah.
We were like, he's a that guy.
So the reason why I always thought that he was so impressive on screen was that he was so good at conveying like heartbreak and darkness and like sadness in his eyes.
Yeah. Well,
and I've actually just...
It's almost chilling.
I know, but since I heard the news, I went looking for photos of him that are like, candid photos from his life. Yeah. And he does seem genuinely happy with his family. So he is really that skilled of an actor. It was just this thing that he could access better than anybody. Every single time he played a role of one of these guys who's like down on their luck, like he was always like cast as like a junkie or like some street person or something, somebody who's like had a really hard life. Yeah. And he just fucking nailed it every time. Like in It, he was cast as somebody who was really tormented and had PTSD from childhood, right? Because obviously, if you know the story of It, that happens. All the kids in the story that grow up into adults, they're all fucked up from their experiences in Derry. But I just think it's super sad to think about how skilled he was at playing that kind of character, and that maybe he was able to access something that was true to him, and that's what ultimately took him. Well, but it was nice to see in the pictures that he seemed genuinely happy with his family.
It's a super sad loss. I'm somebody who had a terrible bout of depression, and so I am particularly moved, in ways that I hadn't been before. It's like when you're faced with so much pain and you're so much darkness. When you live in darkness, when you truly live in darkness, and you survive that, which is to me, I felt like I beat cancer when I got out of that. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like.
It's got to be the same thing.
I felt like I beat cancer. Yeah. I don't know what that's like, obviously.
Well, no, it's just like a hard struggle, and you don't know whether you're going to make it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and the sort of shitty thing about all of that is that particular problem is one that still, I think, doesn't like, hit the palate so well. Like people don't really, it's hard to talk about. It's hard to reconcile with personally. And I think it's even more difficult for most people, even people who've survived it, to speak about it openly. And because it's terrifying, it's also kind of a crime against others, right? I've sadly had to live through many people whom I cared for and who took their lives. Too many. And really from a very young age, I've just sadly had it happen too many times. A handful, but I wish there was never one, and just really weird experiences all around. Had some very weird experiences all around.
It's strangely like the most taboo of the taboos. Yeah. It's like the most dark of the dark. It's like the
worst part about it though is that when you're in it, it's impossible to talk about because it's
so taboo.
And because no one's going to do anything. Nobody can help you. And there's the threat. The biggest threat for me, the biggest threat about it was like, I'm not going to talk about something that somebody might try to hospitalize. I'm looking for a way out.
Yeah, right.
I'm not looking for a way in. So, so talking about it it just felt like an impossibility. So it becomes extremely lonely. And then for me, the clouds get darker, and darker because there's no one there to lighten any of it.
I feel like I've got such a different perspective on all of this ever since I've started studying astrology, and specifically like there's a lot of overlap with a psychological astrology and like Jungian psychoanalytics. Yeah. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But
yeah, I mean, the guy I'm reading right now,
Carl Jung speaks a lot about, really insightfully about, like, I know that it's kind of like become this new age term, but like shadow work, which basically like when you reach a point where your life is initiating, like you have to answer a call to dive deeper into the shadow and the part of you that you've hidden, that's been hidden away and inaccessible in your subconscious. That all of these sorts of impulses where people want to harm themselves or they want to disappear from the world or whatever, that this is actually just that it's an initiation, and it's and like the vice grip on your life will tighten the longer you refuse the call. So the call to them makes it, they think that the call is asking them to end it all or to disappear and like run away, like leave their life, abandon everything, whatever,
Yeah.
But they're misinterpreting that what it's trying to do is get you to turn the earth, right? Like you're supposed to just till the earth, completely destroy the thing that is no longer serving you and create a new thing. But it's much like the sort of destruction that happens in a volcano, where like everything has to be completely decimated and destroyed. But what remains of that volcanic lava is the most fertile soil, Mm-hmm. Like this is what you're being called to do. I think a lot of people, they think that what they need to do is end it, when really what they're supposed to do is just end the thing that's causing that vice grip to tighten the suffering, so that they can completely reinvent. It's like the phoenix from the flames type, symbolism,
Rising from the ashes.
I think I often think about women who endure childbirth is also another like descent into the underworld type experience. You see people that come away on the other side of having like bear children and they are psychologically changed. A lot of times people will struggle with like severe depression, sometimes psychosis. And it's because they cannot integrate the new self that they are being initiated to become, which is like a change in identity. And that's extremely challenging and horrible. And our society isn't structured to assist people through that journey. People aren't even aware that they're on that journey, Yeah. I think it's very similar. Like periods of severe depression and suicidal ideation, I think, are just like, they're sort of like natural and normal sort of like fires you have to walk through that are an initiation into a new developing stage in your life. And people don't understand what it is. Right?
Yeah.
I just feel like I wish more people were Jungian, like that they were at least exposed to these kinds of concepts so that it wasn't so bewildering, Sad.
Yeah, the guy I'm reading, James Hillman, he's Jungian, he's called an archetypal psychologist, I think.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
It's a very interesting thing. And so he uses elements from astrology, and he uses elements from from just philosophy,
Just like, and the myths too, right? Like the ancient myths.
Ancient myths.
There's so much to be
It's
said
fucking
about all
great.
this.
I mean, the book is fantastic. He's really he has a very huge following. He's passed now. He's old school dude, but he has a huge following and has had a huge following his whole life.
I personally find all of that area of like psychology seems so empowering to me.
It's fun to read because like I won't get into any details, but like a lot of it is ways in which you can own your state.
Yeah.
Like in this book is really about we've talked about it on this live a few times because I've often talked about how I feel like, you sit there and you pound away at whatever it is you're creative until you reach the door and then pry it open, and that door opens the ether up, the sort of akashic record of everything and gives you access to the same kind of access that a Taylor Swift has or a Bob Dylan has, where, ideas and art and beauty flows through you, and then you become the lens, and then you interpret that in whatever work you might lay down, be that a book, a song, a movie, a poem.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I kind of got carried away there, but, principles are the same.
Yeah. I just feel like it's very empowering to learn about this. Like, it's kind of like ancient wisdom, right? Obviously,
Yes.
our modern life is really like horrible, stressful, bewildering, anxiety inducing, makes people neurotic when they probably otherwise wouldn't be. But I just feel like there's it's very empowering to think about how there's maybe everything that you're going through is just a part of the story, right?
Yeah.
Like of a process that is extremely difficult to endure, but there is more of the story to come. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like when you talk about especially the myths and the symbolism of like the underworld and the underworld journey, there's a lot of stories where you're like, okay, I can understand that. That's like not very challenging because it's a story on a page or told, in a, figuratively with like gods and, descriptions of things that are very tangible. But the experience of going through that is extremely difficult. Sometimes like you feel like you're near death. I think that the experience of people who are like in the throes of addiction is comparable to it. Like it's a real underworld journey where you actually, part of the underworld journey is that you're supposed to cross the river that makes your spirit forget what it was. Like these are the sorts of things that people should be initiated to do when they're at the end of their rope. Like if you're at the end, that means that you're at the beginning too, And it's like you get to choose what that new beginning is. Like I feel like if you're going to throw it all away, then you might as well just upend your whole life and start new doing something else. Like what have you always wanted to do? Like did you want to fucking move across the world and like live in a town where there's nobody speaks your language, like completely reinvent yourself? Like there you go. I don't know. Especially people who have access to, I don't know, any mobility to just change it up, man.
If you can.
I mean, it doesn't, obviously it's not easy. Obviously it's super fucking painful.
When I was taking Tony Robbins, Tony Robbins is the bad dude. He's a bad guy.
Tony Robbins?
Yep. He's a bad guy. Sucks, but he's a bad guy. 10 women? Come on. Come on. I wish you wouldn't have to stop it. Like, I wish you wouldn't have to doubt one. Do you know what I mean? It's always been my problem. You know that. But when there's 10, there's 10.
Yeah. Like, why did they have to pile up?
But he said something that I never forgot, which is, if you can't, you must.
If you can't, you must.
If you can't, you must.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, like that also goes the other way too. Like somebody could be self-destructive and be like, well, then I must.
Obviously it's not referring to, that aspect, right?
Yeah.
It's not like if you can't, you must. It's like, if you can't drink, you must drink.
I also find it really challenging that I really do respect people's autonomy. So if somebody actually wants to like bounce, from this lifetime, like I do definitely feel like it's something that everybody has to respect that choice. I just always feel like it is one choice of several and many other choices could end up in a better situation for that person, Yeah,
no, I'm pro-choice, but I'm pro-choice but I think people will have to get help first. Like it's not
from a fucking Jungian psychoanalyst or somebody who can actually just like lay it all out for them. Like there's a fucking roadmap,
Listen, I mean, surviving my depression is one of my great accomplishments. It's one of my great accomplishments because I came out of the other side of it. And I was, I'm in a deep loving relationship with you. And there's so much life there to live and to enjoy and to celebrate. And to even have compromised that, like to allow the darkness to in any way hamper this incredible gift I've been giving, which is like one of the best relationships any human being can ask for. You know, I mean, I've got the best of the best in relationships. It's just the way it is. I've scored big, you know. I'm wildly crazy about a person who's wildly crazy about me. And 14 years in and it's as good as day one. Like,
yeah, we're pals.
So, the problem with being pro-choice in that sort of situation is that somebody like this young man, whose life was tragically taken so early, or anyone, is the prospect of that darkness turning to light again. You know, that's the sadness because when we're talking about depression being the catalyst to this choice, it's curable.
When you see the stories of people who are recovered addicts, and you see that, like, there's some people who are telling their stories, and you see the pictures of them when they were in their darkest.
The before afters.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite things on Reddit to see is like,
yeah, well,
look at me when I was fucking mething.
They look
at me
like
2 years sober, and
they look like vacant stare, like completely. They are
soulless
in their underworld journey.
Yeah, for sure.
And they come out the other side, and they're happy, and they're joyful, and they're healthy.
And their community. They believe in community. Like, you know, to your point, right? Because like when you're in this underworld thing, it's solitude, it's aloneness, and then you know it's saturated in loneliness. And you know you can be around people, but when you're in the underworld, psychologically, they're not there. It's like you know, Charlie Brown teachers.
Mm-hmm.
You know the adults in Charlie Brown.
Yeah, that makes
sense. And it's just happening all around you,
right.
And you're just sitting there in this like hollow, horrible place. But when you do come out from the underworld, when you break the horizon, not only does the darkness turn to light, but people turn back into community, and that's the wildest part of it. You know, like I've always loved you. Not a minute has gone by that I have not loved you, and not a minute will go by where I can imagine ever not loving you. And when I came out of my depression, that love was so profoundly more important to me than it was when I was in the darkness. When I was in the darkness, it was like I can't hurt her. When I came out of the darkness, it was she is my life, my light, my way. You know what I mean? So it's like a totally different, a totally different perspective. One that So, and this is what I'm talking about when it comes to James Ranson and others who lose the battle. Is like I wish they could have just found a way to last just a little bit longer. And worse is that I know that people who have people close to them and who choose this way end up leaving those people with such terrible questions.
Oh yeah,
and such unfair questions, because the truth is
it becomes the story of their entire family.
I was just swooning all over you, because the truth is that the amount of the truth is that like I should have lost my way. I'm sorry. That's what I was going to. But anyway, look. I
didn't want to bring it up. Like I didn't bring it up.
Sorry. The truth. Forgive me. The truth is that they couldn't have done anything. They couldn't. It's just like it's so impossible. Like it's so unreachable. It's so difficult.
No, it's true.
It's a summit that cannot be reached. It's place
true. It's
that
like
is alone
the solitary hero's journey, right? Like in all of these like great epics of like hero leaving the village and having to go on this adventure or something. There's a moment where he almost gets bested by the dragon or whoever the fuck he's trying to fight or defeat. You know, and it's like at that moment he could just give up, or he could persist and then prevail and then bring back the elixir to his village. You know,
another terrible loss, James Ranson. I hope that. That the peace found him and that he was able to embrace it, and man, I just hope that the family and those who loved him and felt dear to him, and especially those who were left ghosted or were exposed to a distance they didn't realize was there. that those people don't feel any kind or bear any kind of responsibility for a decision that he ultimately made, and one that, breaks hearts. And
I think I've seen a lot of posts on social media from the cast of The Wire, because they recently they lost another, I forget his name, that really great black actor that was in The Wire.
Yeah. Oh shit.
And so they just they act as if there's like a real brotherhood from having made that show.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the making of that show, but it sounds amazing based on how close everybody is that made it.
Oh my God, he was in Old Boy.
Oh, the remake? Not the original.
Definitely not the original.
Anyway, on that light note.
Guys, he had a great career.
Yeah, he did.
So
I wasn't going to bring it up because it's such a fucking downer and it's so sad.
Well, I'm glad you did. Like Cosmic, I'm glad you did. I mean, I did want to talk about it. I do fear it, but it is an opportunity to speak about something that I have some experience in surviving, and
it shouldn't be as taboo as it is.
People will.
I feel like there's a culture of silence that actually that doesn't help anybody. So I don't mind talking about it, but it is kind of like a fucking.
There's two things about it. The first thing, the other thing I would say about it is that if you know somebody who's depressed, one of the things that you can do instead of like, I'm here for you, I love you.
Well, that helps too, right?
It doesn't help.
It doesn't help at all.
It didn't help me. It wouldn't help me. No, it doesn't help me because they already know that, and that's what's keeping them around already. Mm-hmm. That's not gonna change their mind. They're gonna be like, I know, I've reconciled with the fact that you'll be okay because I'm gonna die anyway, eventually. So you just now's the time. So it's a weird rationalization. But what you can do is you can observe, inquire, and perhaps influence what they're doing to their guts, because so much depression, so much anxiety,
you mean like physically,
is linked to gut health.
It's like a medical problem,
bro. It's so bad.
That's so interesting.
Listen, I've been working on my guts. I told you guys this already, but I've had relapses.
This isn't some woo-woo shit though. It's been like proven, like repeatedly
100%.
Studies have proven
Science.
that there is a direct link between your mental health, especially depression and anxiety.
Yep.
And your gut health.
Yes.
And the standard American diet is poison.
Absolutely.
And so it's no wonder that there's these suicide rates of people who eat, just the demographics are the people who eat the worst American diet.
Yes. This is fucking true.
They're like, oh, suicide rates in men are so great. Well, do men ever cook wholesome foods for themselves? No. They go and they eat fucking wings at the sports bar. Fucking, Taco Bell and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a fucking coincidence.
Or they're just eating out of bags, right? And eating out of plastic containers. And they're not like going home and slicing up a cabbage or chopping up some greens. That is so interesting
to me.
So like if the one thing you can do for the depressed person around you is just look at their diet. And if you see they're eating badly, then sit down and say, I know you're going through a hard time. And I fucking know that if you change the way you're eating, you'll be able to at least start creating a balance. Well, that's not true.
So you have to cook for
It's not true.
Here's the thing. You want to save somebody? You got to treat them like a little animal that you found on the side of the road who's sick and unwell and cold. You have to put them in blankets and you have to cook wholesome food for them and you have to heal them from within.
Yeah.
It's basically like a stray animal problem, right? Treat yourself as if you're a stray animal who got hit by a car and needs nursing back to health. That'll help. Are you with me?
I am. I'm just trying to get through some of that. I'm just looking. It's, you're 100%. 100%. I love it. It's perfect. Put them under your wing and, open their beaks and then vomit into their beaks.
Because here's the thing is like, here's your gruel.
Here's your gruel. This will make you better.
It's true. All of the advice about how people treat depression is like, okay, well, number one, if your job is making you depressed, you got to leave your job. So number one, because you're not going to be undepressed in a depressing situation. Like sometimes depression is a totally normal reaction to really shitty circumstances, Yeah, so there's that. But also, like, a lot of the psychologists will just be like, oh, okay, they'll treat you as if you're a sick animal. They'll be like, well, are you getting enough good, wholesome food? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough water? Are you able to exercise? Like, do you take yourself on walks?
Yeah.
Like they're just basically like pet care advice. And if you follow all these pet care advices for yourself, you'll feel better. If you take yourself on walks, you'll feel better. If you take yourself on walks, you'll feel better. You know?
Yeah. Somebody's asking, who is this? Oh, it's Dimebeth asking if I ever met Brian Peck. I did not.
No, but there was another guy who was
Bob Villard.
Bob Villard had a really scandalous. I think that the feds even busted him for distributing illicit images of his young actor clients. Bob Villard.
Yeah, Bob Villard.
Bob Villard had the
I met him
apartment
once or twice.
that Tobey Maguire was staying at, so they were friends.
Yes, and Bob Villard is implicated in that whole ring.
And apparently,
of
Bob Villard
fuckers.
also managed or somehow publicized, like as an agent or whatever, DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire, I think, when they were younger. But
Layla said he was good looking back in the day. Now, not so much. There's like, yeah, it's weird. He didn't age well. I think it's the drinking and laying on yachts. I do.
Yeah, sun damage.
Yeah, I think he just got a bunch of sun damage being a yacht guy.
Being a guy with a tan.
Yeah. I'll tell you, man, I knew this surfer guy. Dude, I had this huge opportunity when I was back in Hollywood in 2010. And I had this just this absolutely massive opportunity for me because it involved one of my favorite issues in life, which is environmental issues. And so I just want to, I feel bad, but it's been so long that I have to, Russell Means. I always get his last name wrong. Ever since Russell Brand came out. So you know who Russell Means is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Russell Means.
He's a Native American actor.
He's a Native
right?
American actor.
Yeah.
He's now deceased, but he was an American.
He's a big deal.
He was a legend. Yeah. And he was in Natural Born Killers, was one of the big tent scene. One of my favorite fucking scenes in the movie. So Russell Means came into our company and we got to pitch being the production company for an environmental show he wanted to do. And so somebody we knew that was connected to him, he's an absolute fucking legend. I mean, it was so cool. This guy comes in the room, bro, and you could just, he's one of those men, one of those personalities where you could just feel like the presence of something great. He was that. He walked in the room. I was like, well, fuck. Okay. Real guys, like real business is at the table, And we got along, him and we got along, man. Holy fuck, he loved me too.
My superstitious assumption about those people is that they have ancestors who are like always working on them.
I'm sure of it.
Like that they have like a team of
held up by
spiritual
gods.
support. And that's what you feel.
This guy was held up by God. So anyway, we pitched this. We have this thing. He and I just start collaborating. Environmental issues are my fucking jam. I love that stuff. So I got deep into it with him and we're talking, we're going back and forth and we're like, what we can do with the show, how we can, contrast, the scars of the earth versus the healing and all this other shit. It was really great. And so we started collaborating. At the office, I had a big whiteboard and I'm up on the whiteboard and I'm whipping out and I'm just fucking having a grand time with this guy. And we just loved each other. Well, it turns out days later, he got, his buddy. So first of all, he brings this guy in. This is where I was talking about. It was this guy he brings in with his lifelong friend or whatever. It's this white dude from Malibu. So I'm hanging out with this guy and he looks sickly as hell. But this dude, bro, he got melanoma bad, bro.
Who?
This friend of Russell Means.
Okay.
He got melanoma so bad from
sun damage?
surfing. Yeah.
From surfing. Yeah.
Motherfuckers on boats and shit.
Right.
Living that life without mad protection. Man, you are asking for it because that water is just like holding a mirror up. You're just getting all the rays, bro. Like from every.
No, I know it's really tough. I have a lot of family in who lives in Brazil around like the state of Rio de Janeiro, and a lot of them are they're very vigilant about spots that show up on your skin because when you literally live on the tropics or near the equator, the sun's rays are so much more intense.
Yeah, they are.
So they're really vigilant about it. I think that in North America, we're just not trained to be wary of that sort of thing.
No. All Scientist has left. Listen, guys, we're going to go. But before we do, I hope that you will like and subscribe. We don't bug you with that kind of shit all through the live because I don't even really think about it. But I got to think about it because we need to get to 1,000 subscribers. so that we can, go into an ad-based monetization. It would be nice.
Oh, I thought you said that when you got 1,000 subscribers that Ryan Reynolds was going to buy you a house.
Well, that's true too. Ryan Reynolds is going to buy us a house, but that's a
That's
secret.
my favorite joke of yours, and I think it just goes over everybody's heads, but it's so funny.
Ryan Reynolds is buying us a house as soon as we get to 1,000
because they say
subscribers.
that Dale Wheatley is like defending Blake Lively because he's being paid, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, they're paying this teeny tiny channel. No, what happened was when I get to 1,000 subscribers, which is nothing, which apparently is over their heads.
Yeah,
he said he's gonna buy me a house.
People just don't even get it. It's like a hilarious joke.
I know.
It's like, oh, look at you getting paid by Ryan Reynolds. No, well, it's coming. I got to earn it. I got to get to
1,000.
But we are still trying to almonds will give me man boobs. What?
We were talking about eating healthy.
Oh, don't eat so many almonds, bro. I already got my moobies. Listen, guys, you're so fantastic. What a great night. Hey, listen, who we got here? We got, what is it? Layla. And then the others, anybody who might still be around or who's not around, whatever, please come back. Hang out with us. I think if you get to know me, but I think if you do, we have fun here, and we also speak to the youth.
You were in like 2 speeds today. It's not usually like this where you're like anger man and like depression grief guy,
I don't know if I was depression grief guy.
No, because we were talking about somebody who passed away, and it was very sad. And we don't usually talk about very sad topics.
Hey, listen.
But you have a lot of insight about that.
Listen, okay? It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
Everybody needs
to put a smile. It's the most miserable time of the year. It's the most miserable time of the year.
So you got to put a smile on your face for Grandma. This could be her last Christmas.
We are doing a live tomorrow, Christmas Eve. We are going to open up one of our books on Christmas Eve. Live on the show. Oh, when I say one of our books, it's one of our presents, but all of our presents are books. What's it called?
What? Oh, tomorrow?
Yes.
The holiday is called Jólabuckaflott.
Jólabuckaflott.
Yes, Jólabuckaflott. I think I'm pronouncing it right. It is an Icelandic holiday every year.
Yes.
Which coincides with Christmas Eve.
We love it.
Is the book holiday.
Yes.
Where you give books, you receive books. You're supposed to spend the entire day cozy as a little mouse underneath your blankets, and well, it's Iceland, so it's probably your furs, whatever, with your little warm beverages and reading books all day long. That's what tomorrow is. It's not Christmas Eve. It's Jólabuckaflott.
Jólabuckaflott.
Yeah. So we celebrate Jólabuckaflott in our house.
We do, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to celebrate with you tomorrow. And so what we do is our tradition is that we open up the one book. We'll usually read it through the night, but what we'll do is we'll open up the one book with you guys, and then we'll read the first chapter, because what we do on Christmas morning when we open up all of our books.
Yeah.
Is
Christmas is no longer Jólabuckaflott. Then you got to do Christmas stuff.
So we read all the books. We always read the first chapter to each other of each book. Mm-hmm. It's a fun little tradition we have. And if the first chapter is only 1 sentence, we'll read 2 chapters. Usually.
Yeah. Unless it's very long.
Unless it's very, very long. And then we'll be like, let's skip this one.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody wants to tune in for that. That sounds kind of boring. It's not really a good sell.
It's only going to take 10 minutes. It's only 10 minutes of the 2 hours.
I'm going to enjoy it. I just don't know if anyone else would.
The rest of the time, I'm going to be going at 2 different speeds. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It's Christmas Eve, but crazy day in the Epstein, Russell.
Oh my God.
Russell Brand.
It's crazy how it's just getting worse for these people, and I'm here for it. I am fucking eager to see what happens.
I'm telling you,
it's going to be bad, and I just feel like.
Listen. You know why?
You can't evade justice forever.
Maybe the reason why it got so bad is because the bad was being overcome by the good, and this is the last fight. This is it. This is everything they can bring.
You know how if you're like, okay, my closet is a mess, I need to clean my closet.
Yeah.
Before you can have an organized closet, you have to take everything out, and it's a fucking disaster.
There you go.
This is what's happening in the United States of America.
We're
gonna reorganize, but right now it's the disaster phase.
All right, I'll go with this. You can put everything back.
I hope so.
Boxes.
I hope somebody does. I mean, I'm not going to be doing it.
You guys are the absolute greatest. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for the new folks coming by. That was super fun to have you here. I hope that my personality didn't chase you away. I hope you'll come back.
You're allowed to rant
and for
about
those and for those
things.
of you, so please subscribe, do all that, and read the book. I mean, it's free on Kindle Unlimited. You can't do better than that. And not only will it help me, but it's also really a great ride. It's about going back to the 90s and enjoying a time that maybe you were around for, but if you weren't, this will be the closest thing, one of the closest things you'll sort of experiences you'll have to actually being there. And you'll see I deliver on that. I mean, you really are. I transport you back into that time, at least to some extent, enough that if you just let go, maybe you'll go on a really cool ride. So thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out with us. We really, truly do love and admire all of you. And we will see you again tomorrow night. Will we not?
Yes.
All right. Good night, you guys.